I don't know, man. I watched a couple documentaries on that. Makes you think just a little bit of some of the details of that whole deal. You know when that happened? 1994. It's all coming together. 1994, when the Knicks were in the NBA Finals and took it to a Game 7 but lost. This time, we feel differently about this team.
Playing a team in Texas.
Damn right. They're always playing a team in Texas. Feels like 94, 99, 2026. Thanks to Rami, Al, Jerry, Kaplan, Izzo, everybody at CBS Sports Network. Keep it locked here for all your Knicks reaction on WFAN. Evan, Tiki, and Sean coming up next. Carton Show with Craig and C-Mac at 2 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow for a feel-good Friday.
Oh, it's not going to be a feel-good Friday. It's going to be a feel-great Friday. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow morning. As always,
I don't know if you've ever been to get a prescription where the person behind the counter goes, Recco, and they go, okay, what was it for? And then, like, what if you had to say, my boner pills?
We're talking New York sports. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. Evan Roberts. Tiki Barber. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
3 wins, Tiki Barber, from an NBA championship. But we need to be honest about something, all right? As much as I'm a loser, and I always wonder if loser teams can win, and obviously you can always be proven wrong, and the Knicks are one step closer to proving that narrative completely wrong. Not once, but twice, we saw the season flash before our eyes in the first half with Jalen Brunson. And you have to admit, if you're a Knicks fan, or you're an IBO, or you're the great Tiki Barber, when Harrison Barnes is falling into Jalen Brunson's knee, and then he's slowly walking to the locker room, then he comes back, and he injures his ankle, and he's getting tested again. Are you not seeing your season and this run flash before your eyes?
You know what? He was walking off under his own power. He wasn't on crutches. It's not like somebody was carrying him. Knowing who Jalen Brunson is, you knew that he was coming back. We saw him play through ankle injuries a couple of seasons ago. Ultimately, he ended up crashing out or injuring himself out of the postseason, and they lost that series. But Jalen Brunson's a gamer, dude. He has a football mindset. He plays that way. You see him bodying his way to the basket and pump faking his way to easy layups, even though they're contested. And you just knew he was coming back because he always finds a way to come back. You could see it on his face, and he said it after the game when he was asked about it. He said, "I'm all right. Next question." That's the kind of dude you want to lead your team, especially at this stage of the season.
He is the kind of guy that as every moment goes by, every game goes by, every performance goes by, he is becoming a bigger legend by the second.
No doubt.
I don't think I've ever seen this. Like with any athlete in this town. We've had a lot of great athletes in this town, a lot of great superstars, and I'm not even saying he's the best of the best, but every game there's a new story. Every game there's a new moment. And I was trying to be independent-minded as I was watching this, and my first reaction, again, the loser that I am, is Aaron Rodgers all over again. Like, you got to be kidding me. Here the Knicks are in the NBA Finals. Jalen Brunson is the main reason why, and holy crap, he's hurt. Oh, my God. What injury is this going to be? Especially the Barnes one, when he falls into the knee of Jalen Brunson. And then he comes back. And then when he injures his ankle, Tiki, on that, could have been N1 if he actually gets a call.
Right.
The way he's signaling with his hand, and I don't know if it was go, play defense, or I'm screwed. Again, I'm having these sick visions. And I apologize, Knicks fans. This is my loser mentality of, oh my God, is this really the end of him?
Yeah.
But what adds to his legend, bro, is that not only does he come back, he goes on a personal 6-0 run after the ankle injury to cut the deficit and basically tie the game up. So it's almost as if he took the ankle injury personal and then came back and said, I'm going to impose my will on you. And that's after struggling before the injuries, too.
Look, the ankle injury was interesting to me because so much hate was thrown at Luke Cornett because he stepped on Jalen Brunson's ankle, but he actually hurt his ankle before that. He hurt his ankle in his own action. Like, he twisted it, and then he fell down, and then Luke Cornett stepped on it for good measure. And so look, I don't know how that feels for him. He's had plenty of ankle injuries over the course of his career, and so getting up and getting back from that is probably just routine. I think if you've had many of the same injury in this case, your ankle, you know what it feels like when it's really messed up. You know what I mean? Like, you know when this is terminal in some capacity, and Jalen Brunson just needed a minute. Just shake it off. You guys go play defense, right? I got this. I'll be back in a second. And you give him credit, but you also give so much credit to everybody else. I mean, Jalen Brunson is going to be the story because he scored 30 points, but everybody else, including and probably most importantly, the out-coaching by Mike Brown of Mitch Johnson was what you can't not see. You know what I mean? The fact that Wemby is being forced out around the perimeter, and he contests shots, and Josh Hart takes an ill-advised, jumper at the buzzer, but now he's out at the three-point arc, and there's nobody in the paint. And Cat goes and gets an offensive rebound and an and one. Like, those little things that you look at and say, oh, that was great defense by Wemby. It ends up hurting the Spurs on the backside, and it's intentional. You can see it, right? I feel like so much of this game, we want to talk about the players. We want to talk about what Jalen Brunson did, what Wemby didn't do, shooting 6 for 21 and kind of being ineffective for a lot of this game. A lot of that on Cat. We want to talk about Josh Hart having 15 rebounds and 6 assists and 4 steals, all of which led everybody in this game. But to me, it was really the coaching. You could see the inexperience and Mitch Johnson coaching a game of this intensity against a team like the Knicks, who are veteran, who have been on this track for a while, and play with an urgency that I don't think the Spurs have seen so far.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the coaching, because you're right about something you just said. There's a million different things that went into this game, and that's why I want to personally, and I know you do too, we want to personally thank the New York Yankees, because our show was supposed to be over earlier today.
That's right.
But because of this game, because of the magnitude of this game, we're going to stay on to a full show. Same thing with Craig and Big Mac at 2 o'clock. I'm sure they're happy about that too. And I'm glad, because we need almost every minute of this show to get to every aspect of this game. It's difficult to choose where to start when you talk about a finals victory.
Right.
But you're right. Like, we haven't even mentioned the name OG Anunoby.
Right.
And if it wasn't for what he did in the first 3.5 to 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, I don't think we're having the discussion today. We also have a fan jumping on the court with 8 minutes to go. I mean, bro,
selfie culture has become like, I mean, we might have to start banning cell phones from these games. I'm joking, obviously, but what the hell? Because in basketball, football, it's hard to do that, right? You got to jump out of the stands to get on the field. Baseball, there's nets all around. It's just hard to do. Basketball, you can walk on the court. You know what I mean? It's really easy to get on the court. And I hope this is not a trend, because, look, it was entertaining for a one-off. I don't want to see this happening over and over again.
But that is another, small attribute of the craziness of Game 1. So thank you, New York Yankees, because we got the full 4 hours to do it, the full 4 hours to hear from you as well. Knick fans, excited Knick fans, still worried Knick fans, whatever Knick fan you are, 888-808-1019. But the Brunson thing was amazing to me. And I should have learned. You learned. I could hear by what you said, because Tiki said, I wasn't worried. This is who Jalen Brunson is. And I actually want to take you back to a little over a year ago. It was April of 2025 when Jalen Brunson had an injury scare in the series against the Detroit Pistons. And then he came back, and it wasn't a big deal. And you and I had this conversation about Jalen Brunson a year and 2 months ago concerning injuries and how worried you should be when he goes down in the playoffs with what appears to be a scary injury.
So I think what we need to now do is just be very skeptical of anything Jalen Brunson does.
Yeah.
He's an embellisher, Teak.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, the only thing that's wrong with it is he's going to give Knick fans heart attacks.
Because, but you almost always know he's coming back now.
Well, until he doesn't.
Yeah, true, but it almost feels like it's all good. He'll be back.
So I am curious from Knick fans. And Knick fans have been very, very confident over the last few weeks, which I respect. There is a part of me, I was thinking about it yesterday after I went through my loser mentality with everybody about how I could never see the Knicks winning, like I could never see the Mets winning. And a part of me when pondering my opinion and other opinions, was jealous of the confident Knicks fan. Like, that's really healthy. It's healthy that Tommy Lugauer, who also roots for the Mets, or Greg Giannotti, who also roots for the Vikings and the Mets, can have that kind of confidence. Like, I appreciate that. I want to be that. But I wonder how many Knicks fans were really that confident when not once, but twice it looked like Jalen Brunson was seriously hurt. And I started pondering. I had a text exchange with a buddy of mine on, and I swear, Tiki, can the Knicks win this series without Jalen Brunson?
No, they can't. They can't. I don't believe that that's possible. Not because he's, so necessary and he's obviously someone could step up. Jose Alvarado came in and played fairly well, but Jose Alvarado's not scoring 30. You know what I mean? When the Knicks are shooting as poorly as they shot early in this game and really into the third quarter as well, somebody has to take over. And if you don't have, I think in the NBA, if you don't have that player that can buckle down, put his head down and say, I'm scoring 35 today, then it's hard to win in the NBA because you're going to have bad games.
Of course. I mean? And Jalen was having a bad game until it mattered most. And then he actually struggled for a few minutes in the fourth quarter where he was missing a bunch of shots. So I agree with you overall. My only point of having that very brief discussion, because Jalen came back, was to even think about it shows you how good the rest of the team is. And I give the Knicks a lot of credit for this. And obviously a 5-minute period is far different than having to do it for 48 minutes.
Right.
If you go to the fourth quarter of this game, Mike Brown in a tie game started to begin the fourth quarter. Jose Alvarado, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns.
That's correct.
And they were on the floor for 4.5 minutes before he made a few changes, which included Josh coming back, Jalen coming back, Mikal coming back. The Knicks opened up a 6-point lead during that period of time. So over 4.5 minutes in which Jalen Brunson was on the bench, and every minute on the bench matters, especially since he is dealing with these newfound injuries he dealt with, the Knicks didn't survive. They didn't tread water. They advanced. Right. And I think it's a compliment to the rest of this roster. So yeah, it's not a serious discussion, nor is it a discussion that you ever want to have. But when Jalen was going down with not one but two injuries, I'm sure Knicks fans were thinking a million different things during those long commercial breaks. When Jalen is walking to the locker room, where basically you needed the Goldberg music, the dramatic, music as he's going back there. Like, aren't you seeing your whole season flash before your eyes?
I mean, yes and no, because of what we said last year. You kind of always feel like Jalen Brunson's going to come back. So unless he's being carted off or stretchered off, then you got to have some kind of faith that Jalen Brunson's going to Jalen Brunson it and come back out. And again, last night, he did it not once, but twice. And ultimately, this team weathered the storm while he was banged up, but then he took over. And it's what makes his legend so we're seeing it in real time, so it's hard to even call it a legend, but it's what makes who he is so special because you can always count on him.
Yeah.
And it's what you want from an athlete, from your best athletes. You want somebody who's going to say, no matter what, you can count on me. I'm going to be there. No matter what, I'm going to be there. And Jalen Brunson is that dude.
And you're right. The legend is growing before our eyes. I mean, especially when you even saw blood on his knee. And I don't think that was ketchup. Like, I don't think this was made up as some have accused Kurt Schilling.
He might have had hot dogs at halftime or something like that. I used to eat hot dogs at halftime.
Oh, so there you go. Maybe that was the case. But even a small thing like that adds to it. And then you've got the different moments in this game, including the smallest guy on the court being involved in one of the biggest offensive rebounds. It was typical Knicks in so many ways. And for many years, the term typical Knicks would be a bad thing. Typical Knicks would make you think of Larry Brown and make you think of bad results. And now typical Knicks is we can be down by 14 late in the third quarter. It's a no biggie spot.
Yep.
We can be trailing. No biggie. We could have our best player go down briefly. No biggie. And ultimately, the New York Knicks on the road against the San Antonio Spurs won by double digits again. And so despite everything that happened, including it not being the greatest shooting night from Jalen himself, who began the game 5 for 15 from the field, or Josh Hart, who ran into foul trouble, or Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, Wingstop, who did nothing in the first half of this game. Despite all of that, the Knicks won anyway. And they won by double digits anyway. And it wasn't their best night. And they didn't shoot the lights out. Now, neither did the Spurs. But guess what? We're not doing sports talk radio in San Antonio, Texas. That's their problem.
Yes.
And ultimately, whether it was a good shooting night for them or a bad shooting night for them or whoever, The Knicks won, and they're one step closer to an NBA championship. And I think that as every day goes by, the naysayers, the non-believers, I'm certainly one of them, you start to fight the inevitable because, Tiki, they're feeling inevitable with wins like this.
Well, I mean, we did our predictions yesterday. You started early and starting about the Spurs in 7. Sean called for a sweep. I said the Knicks in 6. But as I kept thinking about this, I had an event last night, and Jerry was there and Brian Baldinger. We were mostly talking football, but at the end, we started talking Knicks. And as you start to just talk your way through what this Knicks team has done, and you start thinking about how amazing it is, and this isn't a drinking the Kool-Aid. This is just realizing that this team doesn't panic. They're down 11. They're down 14. It's not like they're panicked. They feel calm. They feel composed. In fact, Karl Anthony Towns said this after the game, and he was paying tribute to his late mother, how he just felt this calm and this peace when he was taking on the alien in Wembayama. And this team plays that way. And you don't ever feel like, man, they're in trouble. Like, this is over. You can't say that. I had Carrie from Sayreville. She's writing me. I told you Knicks are ever winning. I'm like, you're of little faith, man. And so, like, it's amazing to watch the composure of a veteran team play through adversity, because we all know adversity. We know all the cliches about adversity and failure and all those other things. They're not bothered by it. And so no matter what happens in this series, the Spurs could kick their ass in Game 2. They could destroy them in Game 2. And the Knicks will not be affected by it coming back to the Garden on Monday. That's why you have to have belief in this Knicks team. It's not because, the X's and O's and this player is this and that player is that. It's just they have a resiliency about them that you can't discount. And you can't just slough it off and say they played the easy route. They had the easy teams. Sure, but they beat their asses. You know what I mean?
It's a stupid argument.
It's a dumb
really
argument.
is.
Like you can't keep saying the same stuff to diminish how good this Knicks team is. And it's not because they have the best players in the NBA. It's because they are the best team in the NBA right now. At least they've been playing that way for the last 12 games, which they haven't lost in, and won by double digits in most of these victories.
Look, it continues to be the greatest stretch of basketball maybe in NBA history, at least based on point differential. It is. I mean, it is what it is. Like, so there's no denying that. I thought that there were two specific moments in the second half which perfectly describes what you just said, and that's dealing with adversity and overcoming it. They're down by 14 in the third quarter. Now, during this stretch of basketball that the Knicks have played, they haven't faced a lot of deficits. They faced a few. Obviously, game 1 against Cleveland is the one that jumps out at you. But they haven't faced a lot of big deficits in the second half. They're down by 14, and they respond. But I thought the other one, the underrated one, was that they opened up an 8-point lead with about 5.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And a buddy of mine, yes, he's in the coalition, texted me, I'm shutting the game off. I'm depressed. And that was his feeling. This game's over. Knicks have it. And maybe even Knicks fans thought that. Like, yeah, we got this. We took the lead. We were down by 14. We're running away with them. And then slowly but surely, in the final 2 minutes of this game, the Spurs went on a run that eventually gave them the lead. Yeah. And they got the lead after Cassell missed an open 3. And the Spurs, who did a great job on the offensive glass during those final few minutes, had a Wemby, I think he got fouled by Landry Shamet, where Shamet just kind of pulled at him, knowing I'm not giving Wemby the easy 2. Wemby goes to the line, makes both free throws, and from an 8-point lead, in which it felt like all the momentum was going the Knicks' way, they're down by a point with 2.5 minutes to go, or 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. I write this down. I have this is my basketball scorecard, by the way. So I'm a geek for multiple sports. What can I tell you? I love this. I love you. I may be a hater, but man, I'm into it. So they're down by a point with 2 minutes to go. And this is the second example, Teak, of what you talked about of facing adversity. And OG Anunoby missed a pretty good look from the corner. And it's tough to kill OG because of the way he played in the fourth.
Right.
And Jalen Brunson was the one who tipped it out to Mikal Bridges.
Oh, Mikal Bridges, that's right.
It was to Britt, who then found Jalen Brunson for the open corner 3. And Sean, I'll set you up because I know this is a highlight worth playing. It's got a lot of bells and whistles, but this is the moment of overcoming adversity. Jalen Brunson hits the 3. You're about to hear that clip. But Jalen Brunson, that tiniest guy on the floor, right? They can't win. He's too small. He's the one who kept that possession alive and hit the biggest shot of maybe the season.
It's now time for the Corona Lime Time highlight of the night, presented by Corona.
2 minutes to go. Brunson, the drive, gets inside and just kicks it out. Up top the Hart. And Anunoby straight on three. Brunson keeps it alive. Bridges looks back to Brunson. Corner three is up. Bang! Jalen Brunson from downtown. And the Knicks take a 2-point lead.
And that was it. And then you talk about coaching. Who took the most important shot for the San Antonio Spurs to respond to that three? Was it Julian Champagnie, who was awesome in this game? Was it Stephon Castle? Was it Wemby? No, it was De'Aaron Fox, who right now sucks.
Who scored 7 points.
Who probably shouldn't have been on the court. And then, so the response is Fox misses. But here's the other completely underrated moment. De'Aaron Fox, late in the shot clock, fouls Mikal Bridges, who wasn't even playing in the final few minutes of this game, but was inserted about a minute earlier, replacing Landry Shamet. And Mikal Bridges, very calmly, Tiki, goes to the free throw line like it's no big deal, like he's playing a Tuesday night in Brooklyn in front of 700 people, and makes his 2 free throws to make it a 4-point game. Wemby turns the ball off his foot right after that, and you could put the lights out. I think that is the best example, the best sequence of overcoming adversity. 14-point deficit, sure. They blew an 8-point lead. They were down by a point. They were about to have a dead possession. And between the Jalen tip, the Jalen three, Fox missing, Bridges free throws, Wemby self-imposed error, you could turn out the lights and the Knicks are 3 wins away from a championship.
Yes, and the San Antonio Spurs from that point on did not score another point. The Knicks close it out on 11-0 run and take game one on the road in front of a colorful crowd, let's call it that, down in San Antonio.
Oh, we got a lot to get to today. Knicks fans, it's your day. We'll open up the phones for you next at 888-808-1019. The officials, were they a problem? And what did Mike Brown have to say about the officials? We'll get to that coming up, plus who was Jalen Brunson beefing with at the end of this game. But you hear the Yankee sounds. It is time for the Yankee turning point of the game. First call to correctly identify yesterday's turning point at 866-540-WFAN. You'll receive a $100 Wendy's gift card. It's from our friends at Wendy's. Eat great, even late at Wendy's, and your flagship station for Yankee baseball, The Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
If you're looking to level up your wardrobe, check out Collars & Co. You might have seen them on Shark Tank, where they landed a deal with Mark Cuban. Well, they're the team behind the dress collar polo that sold over 1 million shirts. Well, now they've launched the Maverick Performance Blazer. This thing is legit. It's sharp, lightweight, and completely wrinkle-resistant, making it perfect for travel. Just pack it up and it comes out looking fresh. Plus, get smart features like security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. Now, for those that live in Manhattan, Collars & Co. has a new boutique up on 68th Street on the west side. You got to go check that out as well. Or just go online at collarsandco.com. Use code Tiki for 20% off. That's at collarsandco.com.
And this portion of the program was sponsored by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Game 1 saw the Knicks continue their postseason dream run, but there is more work to be done. Tomorrow's Game 2 brings an opportunity to take a commanding series lead back home to Broadway. But will young Wemby have something to say about that? The latest breaking Knicks news, the biggest Knicks opinions, and the most trusted voices delivering them all live here. Your home for New York sports is 101.9 FM, WFAN.
Hey, if you have a small business, you might not know you could be wasting money on your business mobile plan, paying for stuff you don't actually need. But with my Biz Plan from Verizon Business, you can choose exactly what you want and only pay for what you need for your business. When you're in control of your mobile plan, you can make every dollar count. Visit VerizonBusiness.com. Do it today to learn more and make the switch. Verizon Business.
I don't need to tell you. New Yorkers are paying more for everything. Rent, utilities, groceries, every single month. The office that's supposed to protect us is on the sidelines. I'm Raj Goyal. As an ACLU lawyer, I fought for the people against powerful interest every single day. Now I'm going to be your affordability watchdog. I'll take the pension fund out of the greedy hands of Wall Street and put it back into affordable housing, holding utility companies accountable and auditing waste and fraud.
Raj Goyal, affordability watchdog for comptroller.
Paid for by Raj Goyal for New York State Comptroller.
Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Helping people achieve their goals is what we do. So if your goal is owning a home, we're here to help with guidance and resources, including up to $17,500 in select markets when combining down payment and closing cost grants. Visit BofA.com/home team. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. Equal Housing Lender. Credit and collateral is subject to approval. Restrictions apply. This is not a commitment to lend.
Listen to MLB Insider Calls on WFAN all season long. Presented by Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
You an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes. Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery, staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. WFAN and Corona are throwing a watch party Friday night, June 5th, as New York takes on San Antonio for Game 2. Join Charles Smith and Positive Tommy at Blue Haven West on Houston Street. Please drink responsibly.
The savings are coming!
Wow! He showed up just in time.
It's America's 250th birthday. We're celebrating a month early at Nielsen Dodge.
By giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $200.
Motion YC walks in like he owns the block. Knicks on a run and the city don't stop. Orange and blue garden lights looking bright. He's been talking that talk every single night. He says Evan's such a loser, it's kinda sad. While Mo's in the streets going championship mad. Brunson got the whole town losing its mind. Mo been waiting for this since 99. From the deli to the subway, everybody knows when the Knicks get hot, Mo NYC glows. He's laughing at Evan, he's feeling no pain. Yelling bing bong out the 7 train. Knicks got the city up, rooftops loud. Mo's in the middle of a garden crowd, dreaming of a parade, confetti in the sky, tears in his eyes when the banner goes high. So let Evan moan, let Evan stay mad. Mo says, man, this is actually sad. New York's alive, the Knicks are back. Mo NYC's riding that championship track. Motion YC walks in like he owns the block. Knicks on a run and the city don't stop. Orange and blue garden lights looking bright. He's been talking that talk every single night. He says Evan's such a loser, it's kinda sad. While
If you're
Mo's in the
carrying a
streets
lot of
going
credit card or
championship
personal loan
mad.
debt, every month can start to feel the same. All those bills, all those due dates, all that stress. There's a solution that's designed to make it easier for you. National Debt Relief could put you on the fast track to paying off your credit card debt, personal loans, and even medical debt for less than you owe, with just one low monthly payment you can afford. And no, it's not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. It's a real, affordable debt relief program that could save you lots of money. National Debt Relief has already helped over 1 million people with their debt and has thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more, don't wait. Call 800-878-4646 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-878-4646. One call could help reduce what you owe and simplify your monthly payments. Call 800-878-4646 now to find out how much you could save.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. It was a busy Wednesday in New York. The Mets got it started with a multiple RBI day from Bo Bichette. They beat the Mariners 7-1. The Yankees, though, lost again. The June swoon has begun to Cleveland. Gerrit Cole let his guard down. They lose 5-4. And, of course, the Knicks, as we've talked about all morning so far, rallying. 14 down in the second half. They score the final 11 points of the game. They win 104-95, or I probably typed that wrong. Either way.
105-95.
105.
Not only did the Knicks score the last 11 points, do you know, I had to look this up because I was fascinated, the last Spur not named Wemby to make a field goal in this game and when it actually happened, because a lot of their points during that rally I talked about before the break came from the free throw line, where they made a couple of free throws, including Wemby himself.
Yeah.
Wemby had that pull-up three. I think we all remember that one that I think cut it to 2, if memory serves correct. But do you know when the last Spur made a field goal in the fourth quarter, his name not Wemby? Go.
Well, he had a free throw. I don't know.
Champagne barely played in the fourth quarter, which I still can't figure out.
But he did make a free throw.
No, I'm not saying free throws. A field goal, okay? Forget free throws. It was Stefan Castle with 7:56 to go. He made, actually, let me correct, 7:28 to go. A Vassell tip-in that tied the game up with 7.5 minutes to go.
Wow.
Was the last Spur to make a shot from the field, not named Wemby. And you can draw a lot of conclusions. I think a lot of us may jump to conclusions after game one, like this is an advantage the Knicks have, this is a negative, this is that, the rest, the non-rest. The Spurs do not have experience. There's only a handful of guys that do. Harrison Barnes, who had a role in this game, almost injured Jalen Brunson. But they have a lot of guys that don't have experience. The Knicks do. And so you wonder, in that fourth quarter, as San Antonio struggled as much as they did, and you have one coach, you brought up the coaching, who's coached in the NBA Finals, Mike Brown, another coaching in his first playoff run as a head coach, you wonder if the fourth quarter was indicative of the experience edge that the Knicks have.
Yeah, I think experience matters, especially because of the urgency and the intensity that you start to feel. But the other thing, and you're talking about Wemby, particularly because he's the one that I think you're okay without him having experience because he's such a great player, right?
Sure.
So you're not really worried about him. But because of how aggressive Cat was on both sides of the court with him, if Wemby looked like he was tired. He looked like he was wearing down as this thing went on, and that is because of the conditioning or the energy,
physicality. They also played with him. Yeah.
That especially Karl Anthony Towns played with in this game. Wemby's been able to swat anybody who tries to make runs at the rim. Karl Anthony Towns got there frequently. And so, to me, this was a fatigue thing, which happens when you don't have a ton of experience in these moments.
We'll get into the officiating coming up at exactly 10:40. I actually set my clock in case I forgot what Mike Brown had to say about it, what Knick fans had to say about it, and our impressions of it. But let's hear from you, Knick fans. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's kick it off with John in Queens. Good morning, John.
Fellas,
what's up,
good
dude?
morning. That game was incredible last night. Sorry, I'm on like a team call, so bear with me. But I couldn't go to sleep until 2 a.m. I watched almost every post-game show. I was on Knicks Fan TV. I just want to make a couple of points and then I'm going to run because I'm in a team meeting right now. First point is why does the NBA want to annoy guys so fast? Wemby, 3 years in the league, his first 3 years were terrible, and they want him to make him the new Michael Jordan. Some of the calls he was getting last night was crazy. The officials were brutal to begin with. I mean, I thought the Knicks were playing against 8 people on the court last night. Brunson is bionic. He's made out of antimantium. We need to get a new nickname for him because he is incredible. I don't know how anybody can hate on Brunson. This guy is amazing. He embodies what it is to be an NBA player. He is underpaid. He is undervalued. This guy is incredible. He took a lot of shots at the end of the game, but when you need him, he's always money, right?
Yep.
I want to make another point. I was a little shocked that the Spurs guard had Wemby on Cat, and what I saw last night was that Cat can get by him very easily. Yes, Wemby's long, so he rebounded a couple of times and made some blocks, but if you look at that game, Cat was blown by him very easily.
One of the amazing things you mentioned, Cat.
Get back to work.
Yeah, seriously. We appreciate that. I'm glad we went to him first then.
I know.
He was in the middle of a team meeting.
I know.
But first of all, I love the fact he couldn't sleep last night. I think he represents most Knicks fans.
Yep.
He let out the emotion by calling our guy CP the Franchise on Knick Fan TV.
Yep.
Love that.
And now he's working, and he's calling us.
Now he's working.
I love it.
Karl Anthony Towns played with an aggression last night that we just haven't seen consistently from him.
Yes.
And he spoke after the game that he actually played with a calmness and was thinking about his late mom.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe being relaxed and thinking about bigger picture stuff like his family and his mom, maybe that somehow unleashes like a carefree Karl Anthony Towns because he was really aggressive in this game.
Yes, maybe. But there's also this coaching factor that I can't not talk about. So when the San Antonio Spurs go up 14, Wemby sits down. You remember this? You remember this series?
Yeah.
Wemby sits down. Luke Cornett comes in, and what happens? Mikal Bridges gets dished from Cat. Landry Shamet gets dished from Cat. Cat takes it to the rim. All of a sudden, this 14-point lead is like 4 or 2.
It was the first time, because we didn't see it in the first quarter, where Wemby being off the court just changed everything about the Knicks offense because you didn't have to worry about that elite level rim protector.
Absolutely right. And you saw what happened. Mitch Johnson's like, oh, crap. He has to call a timeout, get Wemby back in. But by that point, Karl Anthony Towns is on fire. He's like, dude, I got you. I got this. Right? And so, like, it's hard to pinpoint when a coach makes the tactical move that emotionally lifts his team. And you saw it. You saw Mitch make the mistake of sitting down Wemby. Now, maybe it's just prescribed. It's analytics or whatever the heck it is. But he sits him down, and the Knicks immediately took advantage of it. Like that is why this Knicks team has been so impressive, is because it's those little things that turn around a 14-point deficit, a sluggish start to the third quarter, into something that becomes a blowout win. So, and they didn't even shoot well. I can't help but be impressed by this team. Again, I'm not even that like diehard, sycophantic Knicks fan. You just can't help but be impressed by how they play.
Let's go to Dave in Rockville Center. Hey, Dave.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Good. What's up?
So, got two things. First, have you noticed that the Knicks are underdogs again?
Wow.
-5.5.
I did not see that.
I have a theory about this. I want to ask you what you think. So I have a theory that if the Knicks win every game, they're going to be underdogs literally every game. Because if they win game 2, the odds are not likely they're going to win game 3. Let's make them underdogs. If they win game 3, nobody sweeps the finals. They're not going to sweep the finals. They're going to be underdogs again. We saw this, I think, in the last series. So I'm just wondering. I mean, they have the minimum number of points possible in the two losses. 1 point and 1 point. How in the world could they be underdogs? -5.5. I know.
Well, I think your original point is right on. So typically, forget the Knicks for a second, but typically when a home team loses a game 1, look at Oklahoma City against San Antonio in the previous round, the spread for game 2 is even higher because there's this expectation that the home team is going to respond.
Yeah.
Right? There's that belief. So that's generally what happens.
Yes.
But overall, you're right. The Knicks have just not been respected. And we have brought this up since the beginning of the postseason. I don't know if you remember this discussion because the beginning of the postseason was like 2 months ago. But I brought to your attention and everyone's attention that in the first round of the NBA playoffs, the Knicks were the smallest underdog of any team in any round. And I found that to be kind of crazy. And I wasn't telling you they're going to dominate or they were going to have a winning streak like this. I don't think any of us expected that. But I found it disrespectful or odd that they weren't given the respect from the very beginning of the postseason. And I think even as we sit here in the NBA Finals against a San Antonio Spurs team that sure has a lot of talent, but they're incredibly inexperienced, I do find it odd that they're still not getting respect.
Yeah.
Now, based on the line of game 1, I'm not surprised by the line of game 2, but they really aren't being treated like the juggernaut like they've played.
Well, it's interesting because everyone who plays the Knicks ends up shooting horribly from three-point range. Last night, both teams shot terribly. 36% the Spurs were from the field, 25% from three-point range. But if you even go back into that Cleveland series, a team that they have some shooters, guys who you're not really trusting in the postseason because we all know how James Harden is. But Donovan Mitchell's a good player. These teams, they shot 27%. This is going in reverse order. 27% from three-point range, 29% from three-point range, 26% from three-point range. And in game 1, they shot 32% from three-point range. You're not beating the Knicks if you're not making shots like that. And then their field goal percentages were at or around or under 50% for most of these series. And so at some point, we have to stop saying teams are just shooting poorly against the Knicks and it's just bad luck on their part. Maybe the Knicks are just so physical and so aggressive that it disrupts you. Like you don't feel comfortable playing against this Knicks team, even if on paper you have the edge or the whatever you want to call it. And so I think too many of these sharps out in Vegas or wherever the hell they are looking at the statistics on paper and not the actuality of how this Knicks team bothers you. And we don't talk about it enough because of how impressive they are offensively, but defensively, this Knicks team they've been elite. They've been absolutely elite.
No doubt.
The San Antonio Spurs scored 95 points in this game, and they went stretches where they didn't score at all. So that's not just bad shooting by a young team in the postseason. That's the Knicks playing with a different urgency. And so when we look at game 2, right, game 2 tomorrow night, people are saying this is desperation for the Spurs, right? This is a must-win game for the Spurs. Well, you know what I've seen in this postseason? When an opposing team has a must-win against the New York Knicks, the Knicks play better, right? So why are they dogs? You know what I mean? How many times do we have to see this?
So the why could be a New York bias. The why could be putting too much stock in the regular season.
Yeah.
The why could be not trusting the roster. The why can
How can
be
you
too
not
much
trust this Knicks roster anymore?
Tiki,
I'm serious. Karl Anthony Towns was maligned for his entire career about being soft as a defender. He doesn't have it. He's too compromised. Jalen Brunson's not a good defender, and Cat, your two best players are liabilities on the defensive side. You know what Wemby was against Cat in this game? He was terrible. 2 of 13. He scored 9 points and had 5 turnovers. Even though I've seen those numbers, 10 points and 4 turnovers, but whatever it is, Wemby wasn't good with Cat as the primary defender. So tell me that Cat sucks, right? Tell me that.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Not based on what's happened.
That's right.
I'm not telling you the reason. I'm trying to figure out the reason because this has been a trend for a while that the Knicks don't get a lot of respect.
Right.
And
it's because they know that Nick Money is going to be like, all right,
maybe
there's a bunch of rich New Yorkers that are going to say, F you. Give me that. Give me the line.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you. I made a fortune off the Knicks last night.
There you go.
That has nothing to do with tickets. It has to do with I believe in this team enough to where I don't think the spreads are accurate or indicative of who they are.
Right.
Now, I mentioned this yesterday. I don't want to beat a dead horse with it. Yes, I have a tough time imagining the parade and their championship. That's more of just a loser mentality I got to get over. But when I watch the basketball's the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the performance speaks for itself. I don't know why the Knicks are disrespected, but Knicks fans laugh at it at this point.
Right, who cares?
It doesn't matter. And make money off of it at this point, right?
Hell yeah.
They're huge underdogs in game 2. If you believe they're so wrong, bet them. Down 14, I bet the Knicks last night. So did Sean. who's on his way to possibly being correct in saying the Knicks in 4. Now, let me touch on the officials real quick, because one of our callers touched on it slightly. So I think sometimes when we talk about officiating, it's a general statement. It's, the officials suck. Or it's, and I hate this, and I heard this said by a lot of Knicks fans yesterday, look at the free throw disparity. That's not evidence that the officials are against you. You got to look at plays.
Yeah.
Like, bring up Jalen Brunson had his shirt grabbed. I agree with you. That's a missed call. I am on your side. But when you simply say, hey, this isn't equitable, the Spurs got to the line 11 times, that's not evidence. That just may mean you're fouling more. So I know we do it as fans. I know we do it as coaches sometimes. I freaking hate it. Let's get specific. So let's get specific. I thought in the first half of this game, there were a few plays of contact with Jalen Brunson where he didn't get the call.
Yes.
Which is why when he's called a flopper, and we've examined this, he doesn't get the calls of your normal flopper. He doesn't get the calls like an SGA. He just doesn't. So, yeah, I thought there were 2 or 3 plays, specifically the shirt grab, because that really jumps out at you, where a foul should have been called. Here's where I'll take my shrapnel. And I was watching the game on the NBA app. I have an account where they don't go to commercial. They stick inside the arena, which is a great feature and is really important for what I'm about to say. They showed us the in-arena feature on the cat fouled by Wemby that got overturned. I think we all remember the play.
Yep.
That was a foul on Cat. And I know for many Knicks fans that felt egregious. He literally pulled his arm down. So when you saw the replay, I think the officials got it right to overturn it. That seemed like a major talking point amongst Knicks fans. Like, how could you overturn that? You could overturn it because it was the wrong call.
Right.
So I think that the bloviating on the officials in the first half, I thought was too much. And I thought Mike Brown said something very, very smart after the game. Another compliment from Mike Brown. He mentioned on his own that he thought himself and his players were complaining way too much to the officials. Take a listen.
I didn't do a good job of keeping my mind present in the game, and neither did our players. We were all bitching too much at the officials, and I'd say Rick Brunson was great. He told me to shut the hell up. Sorry, Mom. He told me to shut up, and or be quiet, and he told the rest of the team to be quiet and leave the officials alone. And it was great of him because we were all kind of losing our mind, and I did it. The rest of the guys did it, and it helped us put our energy elsewhere, especially in the second half.
And those are two things. One is,
I think what he said at the end was
it.
the best part. Put your energy elsewhere.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing he said.
To the things that you can control.
Right.
And I don't think the officiating was as bad as the way Knicks fans felt it was in the first half. And I think that's typical NBA. I think that's what we as NBA fans do, especially when we look at our little box score and we see that the Spurs are at the free throw line 10 times and we're only there once. And the only conclusion people can come up with is that's not fair, when the reality is sometimes you foul more than they do. And like what I would say to any Knicks fan is cite the plays. Like, yeah, I thought there were a few with Jalen, especially the shirt grab, but I didn't think for the most part that the officiating was that bad in the first half. It was that they weren't playing well. Jalen Brunson got off to a bad start when he was on the court prior and in between the two injuries. So you got to play better.
Right.
But I think the officiating was fine. And I think sometimes as basketball fans, we just go.
Right. I don't ever get caught up in the officiating unless it's really egregious and it's changing the game at a critical moment. And this is all sports, whether it's a pass interference in the fourth quarter with 10 seconds left, or it's in crunch time in the NBA, in an NBA game, in particular a playoff game or the NBA Finals. Then I'll talk about it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. They're trying to do their job the best they can. I don't think that this is conspiracy theory. I don't think they're on the take. I think sometimes people, just like all of us and all of you listening, are bad at your jobs. It just is what it is. And you live with it and you go forward.
Guilty. And that's why I want to compliment and also mock our coworkers at the same time. Last night, I thought Craig, Big Mac, Gallo, and Hoff did a great job. They did a halftime show, like a 15-minute on
damn
YouTube.
It, I forgot to watch. Dang it.
They did a great job. And I thought what they did so great of is actually verbalizing the crybaby fans that you would see on Twitter. Like, Craig's like, look at the calls, it's unfair. And by the way, I respect it because he's a fan in the middle of the game.
Right.
That's what we do. I just think he was wrong. I think that overall there wasn't an officiating problem. And sitting there and citing, well, they've gotten in line more than we did, that could be because you're fouling more. But I did think it was brilliant because I love look, I'm a diehard fan like we all are. And I'm crazy, man, and you're crazy. And there's something kind of cool about seeing the fan in the midst of the action. It's why that draft party was so much fun 2 months ago. So kudos to the station and kudos to Big Mac and Craig and Gallo and Hoff because I thought that was great. I usually get up, I go to the bathroom, I make myself a sandwich at halftime. I was locked in. So I think they're going to do it every finals game, and I love it. I love it, especially when they're crying. and here's the best part. Sean, did you watch the halftime special that they did at all?
I was out at a local watering hole, so I did not.
All right, I want you to go back.
Sean was hammered, so he did not want to pull out his phone and try to listen to Craig and Big Mac in a bar where he would not have heard anything. He would have just seen their faces and been annoyed that he was looking at them.
It's a great analysis.
Thank you.
Well, the great part about YouTube is it lives there, so you can go watch it right now, and you don't even have to turn the sound on, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to watch it and see if you can see the pain in Big Mac's eyes that Gerrit Cole gave up 4 runs and 3 home runs. and he couldn't talk about it.
That's amazing.
And he couldn't say anything about it, but, like, he's sitting there with his Knicks jersey. He's talking Knicks, like, all great content, by the way. It was awesome. But you could see in his eyes, this is why it's a visual thing for you to check out, that there was a part of Big Mac that was dead inside because Gerrit Cole gave up 3 home runs. So check that out.
I'm up to it already.
Let me know. Let's go to our buddy Mickey in Walcott, Connecticut. Good morning, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call. So listen, I got 3 quick points. I'm going to rapid fire, but I'm going to tie it into a nice little bow at the end. So watching this game and even going into this game, there was a couple things that I noticed. Number one is the big celebration that they had in terms of the Spurs. It kind of reminded me a lot of the Mets when the year we played, like 2 years ago when we played the Dodgers and then ended up losing before going to the World Series. That big celebration, it just, sure, they can have it, but when you look at the Knicks and how they handle business and how they handle themselves, those are true Knicks fans. You got to remember, a lot of the people on our team were Knicks fans or New Yorkers at one point in their life. This is ingrained in them. This is a different kind of pride that you can now teach. And when you look at yesterday's game and you see the poise that they had, the connection, the camaraderie that they had as a team, you can just see that this is I know we're all repeating it, but this is a team of destiny at this point. There's no way you can deny that. And hopefully they just do everything, including the rest. But ultimately, I just hope they win this. And I've been saying Knicks in 6, but even after last night, looking at the last 2 playoff series before this, I'm starting to get convinced we might even see this in 5.
No, I mean, heck, you could see it in a sweep, Mickey. You could honestly. So game 2, we talk about. We were just alluding to it in our last segment. The Knicks always play with a heightened urgency in games that matter more to the other team. So game 2 is huge for the Spurs. They cannot go down 0-2 at home and then try to go into the Garden, which is going to be raucous and ridiculous on Monday and Wednesday, and expect that you're going to play great basketball on the road, especially as a young team. Most of those guys are under 24 years old or 25 years old. De'Aaron Fox, who was terrible in game 1, is the oldest head at 28. Obviously, Harrison Barnes, he's a bench guy at 33. Like, this team has to win tonight or tomorrow night, the Spurs. I think the Knicks are going to win, and they might sweep. Sean might actually end up being right in our predictions because the Knicks play with such an urgency when it's more important to the other team.
They're never dead.
Sean picked the Knicks to sweep yesterday, and it caused quite a backlash. Where do I begin? I begin with the fact that right after us on Big Mac and Craig's show, Craig said anyone who picks the Knicks to sweep has no credibility. So I thought that was a direct shot at you, Sean, without saying your name.
Oh, no. Before you continue, a little peel back the curtain.
Yeah.
Craig came out in our little interchange between shows yesterday and goes to give me the high five because he sees the Ralph's Italian Ice shirt, thinks I'm a Knicks fan somehow, and then goes, "You picked them in 4?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "My man." And I go, "Craig, I'm not a Knicks fan." And he goes, "You're not?" I go, "I sat next to you the entire draft party rooting against you." So I think that threw him off, and there he said I had no credibility after the fact.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him.
That's why he did it. That's why he said
yeah, because I think he was embarrassed that he forgot I wasn't a Knicks fan.
That's awesome.
Which I'm surprised, not that he forgot that you weren't a Knicks fan, but I'm surprised that Craig, who's been very confident throughout this playoff run, credit to him, wouldn't also think, why can't they sweep them? I mean, why the hell not?
Well, at least he was better than Mad Dog.
Well, that's the other guy. So Christopher Mad Dog Russo, who is a legend around here. We all love Dog. I don't think Dog listens to the radio station very much, but he knows what's going on. It's
Oh,
kind of
what you're saying is he's lost track of his roots. He's forgotten where he came from.
yeah. Doggie's lost track of where he's from, but he pays attention, which I respect. I don't think Mike pays attention. Dog does. And so yesterday on Christopher Mad Dog Russo's radio show, he cited those idiots at WFAN picking a Knicks sweep. Take a listen.
You would have thought that, geez, if you listen to the Knicks fan, it's a little much. And that's just me. I mean, we got guys on WFAN saying Knicks in 4. I mean, take it easy.
Hey, Mad Dog, that's a net fan, by the way.
Yeah. Listen to those Knicks fans. And by the way, I was 1 for 1 on exactly how game 1 would unfold, by the way, too.
That's right.
Sluggish trail, big rally, not quite as dramatic like the Cavs. That's exactly what I said. Exactly what happened.
You got the script.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I got handed
All right
to me.
in front of him.
Yeah, wait till you see the NFL script I got.
So if the Knicks somehow pull this off and sweep San Antonio, not only are we going to be having discussions all summer that they're the greatest NBA team of all time, and it's going to be tough to argue it considering the run they went on, Sean Morash is going to demand apologies from 2 legends, Carton and Dog. Now, do you think either one of them would give you an apology, Sean?
They wouldn't give me water and a fire, so no.
Last night, the Yankees were playing baseball. They lost again to the Cleveland Guardians. Let's guess the Yankee turning point. I'm going to go with my old friend, and I say that sarcastically because I can't stand him, Rhys Hoskins' 2-run home run that gave the Guardians the lead in the 4th inning. Yankees were playing catch-up from then on. So I'm going to go with the Hoskins 2-run home run. What say you, Tiki?
I'm going to say Ramirez's home run in the 6th. It made it, what was that?
I think that made it
4. I can't remember. I was hardly paying attention to the game, obviously.
That made it 4-2.
Yeah,
Yankees
that
had
game.
come. Okay.
That's what I would say.
Here it is, the turning point of last night's Yankee game.
Drawn in infield, runners at second and third. First pitch, line drive, left field, base hit. Ramirez walks home, stop sign for Manzardo. RBI single, Rhys Hoskins. He's driven in 3 runs tonight. Cleveland now has a 5-3 lead.
Oh, so we're both wrong, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the game was over before that, but whatever.
The Susan reaction is always my favorite.
I know.
And I'll play this for you when we get back, and we'll do it real quick, because obviously the Knicks are the focus, but Daniel Murphy was calling the Met games for 3 days, and Daniel Murphy had a reaction to a Met hit that would put Susan Waldman to shame. Like, it was such an overreaction to a hit. I loved it. I thought it was funny that even Susan would be like, what was that? So I'll play that for you in a couple of minutes. Plus, what got Jalen Brunson as angry as he got at the end of the game? We are starting to get the details. And more of your calls as Knicks fans, you're 3 wins away from something none of us ever thought could happen. An NBA championship. 888-808-1019. Now, there's no better way than now to upgrade your home with Windorama's summer savings event. Save up to 40% off when you install with Windorama. Choose from top brands like Anderson Windows and Doors and Master Shield Gutter Guards. Book your free in-home consultation. Shop from home and let their local certified experts handle it all. A stress-free process from measurement to installation. And when you shop in stock inventory, they'll install it just 14 days. Visit Windorama.com and book now.
Surfside iced tea and lemonade plus vodka is your go-to drink this golf season. It's light, refreshing, made with real vodka and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. No bubbles means no troubles. Look for the new half and half variety pack featuring flavors like raspberry half and half in stores now. Cheers to hitting the fairway and cheers to Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Huge season on deck for the Green Bay Packers, who have been the 7th seed in the NFC playoffs the last 3 years, and now going to open at least the first 4 games of the season without all-pro edge rusher Micah Parsons. He'll start the season on PUP, coming off a torn ACL, might miss as many as the first 6 games, and don't look now, not a lot of pass rushing depth outside of Parsons in Green Bay. I'm Nick Costos.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Living with a chronic illness that requires IV medication? Say hello to state-of-the-art private suites for all of your infusion needs at Thrivewell Infusion, providing exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crowes, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crowes. Whiskey Myers. Saturday, June 20th, Prudential Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Who do you think will be wearing the rings at the end of the NBA Finals? Take your shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel's the best place to bet all of your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Play your game any way you want. Seek out individual player markets for baskets and rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. It's up to you, and best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. So ready to play your game? Just visit FanDuel.com/New York to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Guys, let's keep it simple. There are 2 things you probably should be doing: taking care of your health and doing something that actually makes an impact. Here's a way to do both. California Cryobank is looking for healthy men to become sperm donors. You can earn up to $2,400 a month and get free health and genetic screenings along the way. So yeah, you're getting paid to get checked out, and you're helping families who need it. Efficient, smart, done. Check out spermbank.com to learn more. Apply and see if you qualify.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
For the first time all season long, the New York Knicks are favorites to win the NBA championship. That has not been the case all year long, but they're in the NBA Finals. They won game 1. And so naturally, it's finally happened. It's finally happened. So I don't know if that makes the Knicks fan extra happy or feels like they've been given some kind of respect. But yeah, for the very first time all year long, the New York Knicks are title favorites. I get why, because even if you thought they were the favorites in the East, which I thought, you always put the Thunder ahead of them. You always kind of said, it's somebody in the West. But now that they've taken game one, they're slight favorites. Like, it's not overwhelming. If you went on any app you want to use, any sports app of your choosing, mine's the Fanatics app, it's about minus 110. So they are slight favorites right now to win an NBA championship. Now, real quick, before we get back to the Knicks, Jalen Brunson and your phone calls, I mentioned how, Susan Waldman does a great job here on the Fan with the Yankees, and you will hear the Yankee game on the AM side starting at 1 o'clock with the pregame show, and we'll be here on the FM side, and then Big Mac and Craig after us. Susan will react sometimes to big plays. Yesterday, as the Mets were shockingly beating the Seattle Mariners, Jared Young got a big hit. It bounced off the base, off first base. It was a very lucky play, no doubt. And Daniel Murphy gave us quite a reaction. Take a listen.
Grounded down to first. And fair ball off the bag. And the Mets get a break. In to score comes Soto. A pincushion double for Jared Young, and it's 5-1 New York.
I mean, that's a squeak and a half right
Yeah, it
there.
is.
Can you isolate that real quick,
That's
Sean?
like a mocking. That's a mocking of a poor luck for the Mariners.
Hey, it wasn't against us.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's fine to finally have it go our way. But, yeah, he gave you a very big reaction to that baseball hitting the cushion at first base.
Fair ball off the...
Murphy's the best. He had quite a day yesterday. There was also a timeout violation, and he compared it to Chris Webber. That made me laugh. And then when Gerrit Cole was talking about how the Mariners have hit a lot of home runs and they've spread it out, Daniel Murphy compared it to socialism.
What?
Dude was on fire.
How did he get the socialism?
Yeah, I got that on my phone. I don't know if I could play it through the mic.
Yeah,
but
right.
You know what? We'll save it for a different day because there'll be a lot of long summer days.
Of course.
Where we'll have plenty of time. We'll get into the beauty that is Daniel Murphy. But last night, it was the beauty that was the New York Knicks. They were down 14 in the third quarter. They come back. They blew an 8-point lead in the final few minutes. Actually went down by a point. They come back, and here we are. Favorites to win an NBA championship and 3 wins away from winning said NBA championship. Now, you noticed after the game when Jalen Brunson did his postgame interview, or actually, it was right before he did his postgame interview. He went over to Scott Foster and was very upset. And I think that the first reaction was that he was mad at Scott, but it clearly wasn't. It was someone behind Scott. It was someone at the scorer's table. It has now been revealed that it was indeed a fan, and the NBA is doing an investigation to find out what was said to Jalen Brunson. In fact, the report comes from Chris Haynes. Chris Haynes writes, let me find it right now. Oh, I lost it. Hold on. Chris Haynes writes, NBA is looking into two courtside fans who allegedly directed vulgar, profane, flopping remarks towards Knicks star Jalen Brunson late in game one of the finals. Brunson met with official Scott Foster after the game. So 2 fans were saying something that was so over the top that it got a reaction from Jalen. And I say that because, Tiki, I assume that Brunson, much like you as an NFL player, probably received a lot of vulgar remarks over the years.
Oh, yeah, especially when I was in Philadelphia. They were so kind to me about everything. But you generally ignore it. Like, you generally kind of hear it, but it doesn't register. You know what I mean? It just, it comes into your ear, you hear it, but you don't, it's like, all right, whatever. You just ignore them. But this was obviously egregious enough, or at least offensive enough, that Jalen Brunson not only heard it, he recalled it, and as soon as the game was over, he started to walk over towards that fan or that area. Now, he got interrupted by the Fisher, Scott Foster, and they just had a little conversation. But I don't. Jalen Brunson's not going to jump in the stands and go fight somebody, but it did seem like he was ready to confront somebody.
And that's why I was curious, like, what could possibly be said? I mean, I guess we come up a million different things that caused him to go from, I hear that all the time, to I'm confronting this fan, or I'm telling security I want this guy arrested or thrown out. Like, what would it be? Probably family related or something?
It's either racial or family related.
Yes. Yeah, that would be the 2 things.
Yeah. And so I'm assuming racial.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. And I don't know if Jalen Brunson will ever be asked about it, because even in his postgame, he wasn't.
Yeah.
And during that postgame interview, he wasn't asked about it. But it wasn't something you normally see from him, which is why it jumped out at me. And I think it jumped out with others because we also didn't know it was a fan at first. You're thinking it's Scott Foster.
Yep.
Then it's someone at the scorer's table. Like, is he upset that he wasn't credited with
Right. That's what I thought it was. That he was somebody was saying something or had an issue at the scorer's table, but he was clearly behind after you started seeing what the conversation was about.
We get a lot of crap as New Yorkers and Northeasterners for the way we are as fans. We don't usually have this kind of problem. Not that we're perfect. I mean, I remember there was an incident where someone spat on Trae Young a couple of years ago, so I'm not saying we're perfect, but clearly there was some unruly behavior, and I wonder what happens to that guy. I wonder if it's as bad as the guy who ran on the court to take a selfie with Wembanyama.
Yeah, that guy will be banned.
Well, what boggles my mind about that fan is the video that he took, because he jumps on the court, he's taking a selfie. Wemby smiled. Wemby was like, sure, here's a selfie. He's like Tiki if you meet him on the subway. Like, sure, I'll take a picture with you. Mitchell Robinson mean mugged the guy,
right?
Which I respected. Like, what are you doing, you piece of crap? Like, Mitchell was disgusted by what was happening. But the video is now all over the place. So this guy who should have been arrested, should have had his phone taken away, was able to release the video?
And
how's that happen?
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, it's got to be all disjointed and all over the place. There's no way that it's clear, right?
Well, Teak, the best part is it cuts off Wemby's head because he's so tall.
How good is that?
Oh, he didn't expand it. Yeah, you got to expand it so it like has a wider frame.
Yes.
A wider viewing frame as opposed to the focus right on your face frame. That's hilarious.
And look, people have jumped on baseball fields, and sometimes it lasts a while. Like you're running around, security's chasing you, and some people will cheer you. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. The basketball court is so confined that your moment lasts 9 seconds. Sean knows about that. Like, it's over before it starts.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what this guy's going to get, but he should go to prison for a year. That's my opinion. I'd throw the book against him. What a douche.
Yeah, but what law? What I mean,
trespassing.
For a year, Evan?
It's not trespassing. Yeah. So there has to be some law that, because he's already in the building. Trespassing is like entering a building that you're not supposed to. He's already in the building. So what law is he breaking? Is there a law in Texas that you can't interrupt a sporting event?
And if I'm not mistaken, the laws in Texas would have allowed someone in the front row to shoot him. So you never know. I mean, it's possible.
You got to get that past the metal detectors, but
yeah, exactly. You're not worried about that.
They don't allow guns into the arena down there?
I mean, it is an open carry state, but no.
That's what I'm saying.
The parking lot, yes.
Let's get back to your phone calls. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's go to Marcus down in South Carolina. Good morning, Marcus.
Hey, guys. How you doing? As you know, I'm a Nets fan. I'm doing this as an IBO. I want to make 2 quick points. One will lead into the other. First of all, they're saying that the Knicks stole game 1. When you're down 14 and you win by 10, you're not stealing the game. When you're down 1 with 2 minutes left and you score the last 11 points to close out the game, you didn't steal the game. You took the game. Second, it all goes to what Kat said during the timeout when they had a mic. He was like, guys, keep the defense going. The offense will catch up. We know this from game 1 in Cleveland. I mean, they have a plan. They have a mentality. And even as a Net fan, I think they're going to win this. And they're going to win it rather easily because the Spurs are young. The shooters are going to get more pressure on them. And I think the Knicks are going to take this. Is just a foregone.
Well, that's a very good fair breakdown as an IBO. So good job out of you. The terminology of stealing a game, it's one of those things in sports where how do you define it? It doesn't really matter. I mean, I look at stealing a game as a game where you don't play well, you don't play your best, and you win anyway.
Yeah, that would have been the game. What was it? Which one did they lose in Atlanta where they almost stole it? You know what I mean?
Game 3.
Yeah, game 3. That would have been stealing a game because they didn't play well enough, but they found a way to come back because Atlanta faltered and whatever.
But Tiki, I think you can say that about last night. Now he's right. That they ran away from them and ended up winning by 10. So yes, the final score is a huge point differential. But the Knicks didn't play that well last night.
Neither did the Spurs.
But that's not. Yes, you're right. This is why this argument is so stupid. It's like a complete barbershop conversation.
Of course.
Like,
what is the word? We're getting caught up in the vernacular. It doesn't even matter what the words are. The Knicks won the game, and they did it in convincing fashion because when you think about it, from the middle of the third quarter to the end of the game, they outscored them by 25 points.
Yes.
Like, that's a big deal.
You're right. Now, I want to play you this clip of Jalen Brunson. This was his post-game interview that he did right before he confronted the fan, in which he said something. It's a very quick clip, but I think this will help kind of prove the point, if you agree, when you don't play well and you win, that's stealing a game. Listen to what Jalen Brunson said about the team and himself and the way they played in game 1.
It wasn't really our night. It wasn't really my night most of the night. But we kept finding a way, kept chipping away. I just like how resilient we were tonight.
It wasn't my night. It wasn't our night. We won anyway. I mean, isn't that all you need to know when you talk about did they steal the game or not? And he's right. I mean, Jalen Brunson at one point was 5 for 16 from the field. He also missed a bunch of big shots in the final few minutes of this game. This was not perfection, even if he was still awesome. You know what I mean? Two things can happen at the same time. They did not play their best, and they won by 10. So whether it's stealing a game or grabbing a game or whatever the hell you want to call it, Jalen Brunson's kind of quick summary of the game is very accurate. They did not play their best. They won anyway.
Now, does that clip tell us that somebody else on our staff needs to wear an L, Evan?
Why is that?
I mean, your self-appointed glue, Paulie Rosenberg, saying he was sick. It doesn't sound it at all in that clip. And he
That's a
went
good
off
point.
and scored 30 points.
I told you he wasn't sick, but we ultimately settled. I'll prevent you from the L, Evan, because we think we settled on allergies.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted me to wear the L, right, Sean?
No. It was you put Paulie Rosenberg on the pedestal that he sniffed this out. There was nothing wrong in his voice there.
What I did yesterday is we presented a clip of Jalen Brunson in which he sounded sick, and I said, does this concern you? Now, we all ultimately said no. No, not every sports talk radio discussion is an argument or a fight. We all ended up agreeing. I thought it was worthy of 2 minutes, and we did about 3 minutes on it. But ultimately, yes, he did not play like someone who was sick. But we all agreed it was allergies. So who's taking any kind of L other than the Spurs, who are 3 losses away from extinction?
Fair point.
Yeah, we're not taking any L's. Let's hear from Eric, who's calling from Clifton, New Jersey. Yo, Eric.
You guys are going to need to duct tape Evan because I think he's going to go to Voodoo Dolls next, like a Temple of Doom pretty soon with some of these
That's great.
Jalen Brunson and Cat.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, guys, I wanted to see if you guys caught the pregame interview of Wemby. Now, I'm not a huge basketball fan. I want the Knicks to win because being a Raider fan and Met fan, I know all about pain and suffering. He gave an interview before the game, and he was asked, what is the number one reason you want to win for? And he said, me. And, to your point, Evan, the Knicks won last night because of playing like a team. They came together like the cartoon Voltron towards the end of the season. And they are sticking together and glued like a team. And I got to go back to 1985 when I even remember hearing an athlete say, I'm doing something for me, and then Rocky Balboa knocked his ass out. So I just never heard somebody speak like that. And Tiki, maybe you can help me out here. Of marquee guys drafted first overall or leaders, quote-unquote leaders of the team, guys that wear the number one.
Yeah.
I think of Tua, I think of Cam Newton, I think of Kyler Murray, and I just don't know any of them that have been, quote-unquote, the leader of the team that won a professional championship. Now, Cam and Tua won in college, but
right.
I don't know that any have ever won. So the Knicks are a team, and Wemby he just told you. He's doing it for himself.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting dissection of a mentality of a young player, as only his third year, who obviously grew up in France, and he gets the media pressure and the media agenda that sometimes gets thrown at him, but he also kind of doesn't know what to say in moments like that. And so he should say, I want to win it for the city of San Antonio, obviously, but he's also thinking about himself because he's such a great player. And so I can't kill him because he's not old. If he was 25 or 26 years old, I'd say, dude, what are you talking about? Right? You're the reason now that this team is kind of disjointed and they're young and you need to be better a leader. But I can't say that because he is so young.
Yeah, in fairness, and I ask Cap, who does a great job, Andrew Kaplan or you, Sean, I'd like to hear the clip. I have not pulled that clip, nor have I heard that clip, to be perfectly honest with you. It's the first I had heard of that. I think it's always important to hear something in its context and how it's said to give it a better evaluation. There is something Wemby did say after the game I was going to play for you later concerning what he has to do differently for Game 2 that I thought was fascinating. I also think you have to keep in mind, even though Wemby seems to speak great English, I assume it's a second language, coming from France.
Yeah,
so
but
you never know.
They learn English too, so it's different.
Yeah, I learned that when I went to Europe last summer. So I was expecting when I went to Europe, and I was in France, first time I was ever in Europe, real Europe, because I was in the UK for a Met game, but that doesn't count.
Right.
Like real Europe. I was expecting to have to speak every other language, and everyone spoke English, and I was talking to a guy in Italy, and he was like, oh, yeah, as soon as we're in the first grade, we have to learn English too. And I'm like, really? So it feels like when you're young, and Wemby is so young, that you're probably right, that he was probably learning English since the first grade.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be fair to his answer that
Well,
sometimes.
I mean, the reason you have to do that, Evan, at least I think this is the reason, Europe it's small. So if you're going from France to Spain to England to whatever, Bulgaria, Sweden, Norway, you're not speaking the same language. So you need a common language, and it's easily English.
No, it makes sense. I think that Wemby comes across like a leader for his age.
Yeah.
There was a story that after they won the West and he was crying, he took the whole team to see a movie to try to, calm down or refocus. So I don't think his leadership skills are necessarily bad. He's just very, very young, and this is one of the things that the Knicks have a major edge on. And we knew that going in. It's part of the reasons why when we sat there for what felt like a month debating on Thunder versus Spurs, I always felt like the Thunder, despite their injuries, would give me more fits than a really young, inexperienced team like San Antonio. Let's go to EJ in Staten Island. What's up, EJ? Hello, EJ.
EJ, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Yes, go ahead, man.
Hey, so listen, I am a Nets fan, but I'm still rooting for the Knicks because, listen, it's a win for the city at the end of the day. It's not a win for me, so I'll be happy standing off to the side, but still sad crying to myself. But my question is, so this is just, I guess, dumb, but if and when the Knicks do win, do they also put up the banner for the NBA Cup?
I think they should. And I remember when they won the NBA Cup and we talked about this brief issue. I think the point was if you can win a championship or even get to the NBA Finals, because I think that's an incredible accomplishment that deserves a banner, then the story of the NBA Cup is such a big part of your journey that while it may not be as big as the NBA championship banner, it should definitely be up there. And I think it will be, because I think when you tell the story of the 2026 New York Knicks on that DVD, like I normally say for teams that don't win, that cup, especially against this team, the team that they're facing in the NBA Finals, is a huge part of the story. So, yeah, I think that banner should go up there, and it would go up there with pride, not the mocking that may have faced it if it was put up without a championship banner.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that the NBA it wants teams to celebrate that midseason tournament because look, it's a revenue generator. I said this. I think I said it yesterday on our show. The answer is money. What's the question? And the NBA, if they're gonna do the midseason tournament, they want people to talk about it so that it becomes something important that they can then monetize. So,
but you know what helps that? This,
right?
Like the Knicks turning their NBA Cup into a big part of their story legitimizes.
That's what I mean.
NBA Cup.
That's what I mean on behalf of the entire NBA.
Yes, no joke, because I know that we've had lots of jokes about the Cup. Everyone's made them, but I think next season, if a young emerging team wins the NBA Cup, less people will mock it. They'll say, "Hey, how about the Knicks?
Mm-hmm.
You're really mocking it? Look what happened to the Knicks. They went on and won an NBA championship, and I bet you that one player, maybe more, when asked about it in the bask of glory of winning an NBA title, if that's how this ends, will cite that experience as a big reason why." And you can't laugh at it then. You can't laugh at it if Karl Anthony Towns says, "Yeah, I got to tell you, that experience in Las Vegas was a big part of why we were able to complete our mission in the middle of June." One guy we talked so much about over the last few days was Mitchell Robinson and his hand. Did his hand affect him in Game 1? We'll break that down next, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019. Contractors, when deadlines are tight, you need a supplier that moves like we do. Windorama keeps the Northeast's largest in-stock selection of Andersen windows, patio doors, and storm doors ready for same-day pickup or next-day delivery. Need custom assemblies? They build them in-house to keep your jobs on track. And with Rama Rewards for Pros, earn up to 2% back, plus perks like free delivery. Windorama for Pros, your job, your deadline, your team. Visit windorama.com/4-pros to learn more.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by St. Joachim and Ann Nursing and Rehabilitation Center.
Hey, healthcare workers of New York, are you looking to make a difference? St. Joachim and Ann Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is actively hiring nurses and CNAs. Call 718-714-4800. That's 718-714-4800.
The Yankees play ball with the Guardians. 1:35 today.
First pitch swung on, deep drive.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM, 660 AM, and always available en Espanol with Ricky Ricardo on the Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Looking for a great deal to stay connected? Now, for a limited time, new Verizon mobile and home customers can get Fios and a line of mobile for just $69.99 a month with AutoPay. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month and unlimited welcome for $50 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more and switch. For new Fios, internet, and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Additional terms apply. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Hi, it's Chris Riccobono, founder of Untuckit. 15 years, 15 million shirts sold, and we're still the best in the game, which means Untuckit also has the best gifts for Father's Day, now on sale. He'll love to unwrap wrinkle-free cotton to save him time in the morning, performance stretch styles he never has to iron, polos for golf, and more, all perfect for the summer. Shop our Father's Day sale going on now at untuckit.com or at one of our 80-plus stores nationwide. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Summer's a gift. The gift of days that last a little longer. A brighter state of mind. So gift yourself a new Kia at the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. With specially tagged vehicles including the Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, as well as the Niro Hybrid. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So the gift of summer can keep on giving for summers to come. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 7/6/26. See dealer for warranty details.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. I'm Tyler Kolick, and I got my Lincoln at Lincoln of Queens. They even delivered it right to my door. When it's time to save, it's time to go to Lincoln of Queens. Go New York, go New York, go.
The savings are coming! Wow! He showed up just in time.
It's America's 250th birthday. We're celebrating a month early at Nielsen Dodge.
By giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
With leases for $250 or under.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S 4-door 4x4, just $249 a month. Leased with loyalty for just $229 a month.
There's always zero down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Make this the summer event.
With approval, term 3624 months, due at sign, everyone 5844 with loyalty 5824. Add tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
Who sells Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Town Fair Tire. Who gives you the most free services for the life of your Michelin tires? Town Fair Tire. So when you put it all together, who gives you the absolute best deal on a new set of Michelin tires? The answer couldn't be more obvious. For the absolute best deal on a new set of Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Nothing pairs better with Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka like a day on the golf course. Made with real vodka, real tea, and zero bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Cheers to hitting the fairway and cheers to Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Living with a chronic illness that requires IV medication? Say hello to state-of-the-art private suites for all of your infusion needs at ThriveWell Infusion, providing exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. So before the game yesterday, we just had a caller mention Victor Wembanyama talking about himself. And our crack team of Andrew Kaplan and myself have come up with basically only this quote that possibly could have been played on the pregame. Victor Wembanyama, when being asked about playing on basketball's biggest stage and whether that spotlight motivates him, from Alex Kennedy, quote, "It doesn't motivate me," Wemby said. "At the end of the day, only 20,000 people fit in the arena, so it doesn't really make a difference." That is the closest we got to that quote from the caller.
Yeah, so the caller said that Wemby was asked about winning a championship, and he said he's doing it for himself. And that's why I said let's hear it, because A, does it even exist?
Right.
No offense to the caller. He could have been easily fooled by a fake quote. I mean, that happens all the time. And then also the context of it. So until proven otherwise, Victor Wembanyama actually never said that.
Right.
So that's how
I never said that, okay?
I mean, if there's evidence of it, we'll break it down. And I mentioned we'll do it at 12 o'clock, but Wemby was asked, as everybody was, about the adjustments for Game 2 and what needs to be different. And I thought what Wemby said was certainly fascinating, and we'll play that and get Tiki's response coming up at 12 o'clock, and obviously a ton more of your phone calls at 888-808-1019. In the build-up to Game 1, there was a lot of discourse around Mitchell Robinson, the uncertain nature of his pinky or hand injury. We all figured he would play. He did play.
Mm-hmm.
His effectiveness. To me, Teak, there was only one moment I wrote down where I said Mitchell Robinson may be affected, and that's when he missed a follow-up, which should have been like a Mitch dunk. It normally would have been
right
on an offensive rebound, and then shook his hand a tad after he missed it. Outside of that, I thought the 13 minutes he was on the floor, it was pretty much the same Mitchell Robinson.
It was, but there was one moment when he got beat. Remember, he's up at the top of the key, and he got beat off the dribble from Victor Wembanyama. And so he's turning to his right. So he's chasing Wembanyama to his right. And as he reaches in, instead of like reaching in with his right hand, it's like he tried to backhand reach. I don't know if you remember, but I remember seeing that and like, you're not getting there with your left hand. It's too far away. So if you're reaching in, trying to disrupt the ball as Wemby's bringing it up, you got to do it with your right hand. That was the only moment where I saw him kind of shielding his right hand from potential contact. That was the only one. But other than that, I didn't really notice it.
Yeah, and look, I think that's overall probably the best answer. Like, you noticed one little thing, I noticed one little thing, but overall, for the 13 minutes he was out there, he was Mitchell Robinson.
Yes.
He is who he is. He's an important player, but he's not playing 30 minutes a game. That's not who he is. He impacted the game positively defensively. He missed a free throw. He wasn't hacked on purpose. Just nature of the game never led to it. So it didn't feel like the injury was that big of an impact, which means, as we talked about for days leading up to this game, the Mitchell Robinson hand pinky injury had a chance to live in the annals of New York history. If things went badly, it has a chance to go away and be forgotten about. I think it's right now probably going away and being forgotten about. And he was asked after the game, because he finally spoke to the media, how did you injure your hand? And he said, I'd rather not talk about it. So Mitch didn't give you an answer. And Now I start to wonder if we'll ever get an answer.
Well, maybe afterwards. Maybe afterwards.
You think so?
Yes.
At the parade, if the Knicks win, we'll get the answer?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think at that point, nothing matters. So
Right.
it's like, whatever. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not affecting what's happening in front of us.
And that's the most important thing. That was the part of the discourse over the last few days that none of us knew was, will he be impacted? We all figured he'd play, but will he be impacted? And I think the answer early on is no. So that's certainly a positive for the New York Knicks coming out of game one.
All right, Evan, we have to self-correct ourselves.
Go ahead.
We went too soon. We finally found audio.
So we got the Wemby quote that our caller accused him of?
With Malika Andrews.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Wembanyama with Malika Andrews being a selfish pig. Go ahead.
Who do you want to win for?
My first answer would be myself. I think it doesn't get more complicated than that.
Wow. Well, first of all, apologies to the caller. You nailed it.
Wow.
Did not hear that. There you go. Now, what's your response now, knowing the context?
I just don't think he knows what to say. For myself? But he's not wrong. You do want to win a championship for yourself. But it's also, it's kind of, it's not like she jumped right on him and said, oh, that's great, fantastic, and then got to the next question. She let it linger, which made it very awkward, waiting for him to say, yeah, I'd first of all say myself, but I love my teammates. I love this city. Like, there was room for him to expound and make it less selfish, and he didn't. I'm going to chalk that up to youth. I am not going to malign the Defensive Player of the Year, future MVP of the NBA, Victor Wembanyama.
It was not a perfect PR answer.
No.
And what surprises me is that because it came from Malika Andrews and it was a pre-recorded ESPN interview, he probably knew the question. So he had time to think about it. I always talk about when we do interviews on the radio, and I'm not perfect at this, but I try, is if you ask a question very quickly, like if we have Brian Cashman on, and like with that, it's a 3-second question about Anthony Volpe. He has no time to think. He has no time to kind of pre-plan his answer because you're letting him know with 30 seconds of bloviation what the question is.
Right.
So the reason you try to ask a quick question, again, I am not perfect at it, that's for sure, is you're going to get a most honest answer. But in a pre-recorded ESPN interview, Tiki, don't you think Wemby knew the question was going to be, who do you want to win a championship for?
I mean, maybe. I'm going to assume yes, but I can't make assumptions here. So he sounded unprepared for it. That's why I can't say he got the questions. You know what I mean? And by the way, aren't you expecting that? Like, who is this most important for? What's this win? What's this mean? What would this win mean for you? Is usually the question you get. And so then it's easy to talk about yourself, but who do you want to win for? Maybe he's going to say his coach, or I don't know. What do you answer in that situation?
His answer was himself. And you're right. Like, it's such a truthful answer. And there's like, that's the real answer that most people would give if given truth serum.
Of course.
But he didn't give what, if Jalen Brunson is asked the exact same question, his answer is completely different.
Of course.
And I'll tell you exactly how it sounds. Before he even mentions New Yorkers and the city, it's going to be his teammates.
Yep.
And then he'll get to the city and the rabid Knick fan base. Now, maybe Wemby knows that San Antonio Spurs fans are spoiled brats and they don't deserve anything since they're a government-funded championship team and they've been that way for 2 decades where commissioners hand them great players. So maybe Wemby knows and he's like, why am I winning for them?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk about entitlement culture. That's San Antonio.
I doubt he's down that rabbit hole. I doubt he's saying we're the third most important city in this great state of Texas. Therefore, we have to win NBA championships for people to give a crap about us. Our Riverwalk is amazing. You got to come down and see it and walk it or run it or jog it. Just don't get caught under the bridges at night.
By the way, great job by you. Just totally trolling that city in such a nice, quick, smiley way.
And I'm smiling.
But don't worry. Don't worry. Tiki trolling or me trolling, you don't have to worry about us. Wemby already trolled you.
Yeah,
he basically said, I don't care about you. I'm winning for myself. I don't need those hicks to win another championship. So there you go. Hope everybody feels better. All right, let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019. Seymour is in Uh-oh. Seymour is in Syosset. What's up, Seymour?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for taking the call. Just a couple quick points. Evan, you've been talking about disbelieving that the Knicks are consistently underdogs in these games, and probably so going forward, game by game. But I don't have a problem with it because, quite frankly, what they have to overcome is just 20 years of terrible, terrible history. Everybody's waiting for that other shoe to fall. So,
but you think that's the reason? Like, it's one thing for me as a fan to say, "Hey, guys, as good as the Knicks are, this is purely emotional. It has nothing to do with basketball. I can't see them winning the way I feel about the Jets and the Mets." Like, yeah, that's a fan crazy weird opinion that I'm open about, and you could call me an idiot, and we could all move on from it. The Vegas and gambling experts are really factoring in Stephon Marbury and Larry Brown.
Yeah, there's no chance.
And that era of basketball as a reason why they're always not favorites? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I can't think of it that. I think it's just, look, I don't know gambling like some people at this station know gambling, but I do know that they set lines so that you react. Like if you set what was obvious to everybody, then people wouldn't react to it, and you'd make no money. Like, you need transactions in order for gambling to be profitable, or for both sides of it. And so, to me, I almost feel like gambling is manipulating you, and you're either going to be a sucker and lose, or you're going to be a sucker and win.
See, anytime a Dallas Cowboy line comes up,
exactly.
Yeah. No, it's a great point. Even the Yankees, and the Yankees are always good, so it's tough to pick on them, but they're always the favorites. Like, every single year, they go into, at least out of the American League, they're always the favorites. And most years, they go into seasons with that respect. So I guess it works both ways. Manny is in Bloomfield. Good morning or afternoon, Manny. What's up?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I mean, I don't understand why these Knicks fans want their team to be the favorite. I mean, all morning I'm hearing people call up, "Oh, can you believe FanDuel has us underdogs by such and such?" Who cares? I want my team to be the underdog. This is why I have respect for you, Evan, because like you said, if you believe in your team so much, put your money behind it. The Knicks have won 12 games in a row. You would have won a fortune by now. And you had the foresight. You believe in the Knicks more than anyone at the station. So don't let them give you crap, because you had the foresight to buy those season tickets because you knew the Knicks were going to be good. Now you can send your kids to college. If this goes 6 games, you can send them to the college of their choice, because you're going to make a fortune. And
I'm going to be open and honest about something. I already made a deal on the first home game. I made a deal with somebody. Nice guy. Deal. And you don't need to know why, but we made a deal. And I feel like I completely undercharged the crap out of him based on the way the prices sound. But I'm a man of honor, so I'm going to deal with it. And I'm going to take my less profit than I could have made, go to the game, and have a damn good time. So
you better drink as much as you want in that game, Evan. Not on you.
You know what's funny about season tickets, and I don't know if I've ever broken it down. I'll do it real quick because I don't know how many people are interested. The origination of me getting season tickets was I love the Chase Bridge. I took Big Mac there for Knicks-Hawks Game 1 in 2021. And yeah, I did have the foresight that they were going to be better, but I also was concerned that if the Knicks and Nets ever played in the playoffs, that I'd have a difficult time getting tickets. And so my foresight was, I want to make sure that if the Knicks and Nets ever play in the postseason, I'm set with seats that I love. And that's actually how it started. And it's funny where we are now. The Nets couldn't be more irrelevant, a million miles away from being a playoff team. Right. And the Knicks may be on the verge of an NBA championship. But that was a part of what I thought as a fan. And there's actually a buddy of mine I used to play baseball with who's a Buffalo Bills season ticket holder, Tiki. And the reason he's a Buffalo Bills season ticket holder is because he's a Jets fan.
What?
And one game a year, he's got his seats in the section he likes in Buffalo for Jets Bills.
You know what? I respect that.
Yes.
I mean,
and then he sells every other
right.
game.
That's a smart way to do it, because you know Bill fans are going to go because it's their team. They're as close. I guess Green Bay is this way as well. It feels like a soccer team. You know, these European soccer clubs where the town feels like they have ownership over the team. That's how the Bills feel. And it's like it's an intimate little ton of people, obviously, that go to these games every single game.
Now, his math is better than mine because at least 1 out of 8 games is his team playing. So he's got his one game. The rest he can do whatever he wants with. For me, it's 2 of 41. So it's a much smaller percentage of games, unfortunately. Let's go to Gary in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. What's up, Gary?
Gary, what's up?
How you doing? Brunson is the best player of all times for the Knicks, and the Knicks are going to sweep the Spurs. Kelly, please report it.
All right. I got to let him go because I don't know if he's got his radio on or if he's doing a Morash imitation.
Yeah.
I think it was a Morash imitation.
It sounded like it. He tried to do the elevated voice.
I don't know. It sounded like there was something else going on behind him, too,
I think
though.
that could have been joking around. I do have to get in here. We have somewhat of an Aaron Judge update.
Oh, let's
Well,
hear
good, because we need one because I thought that the update that Aaron Boone supplied yesterday got buried by the Knicks story, but basically, before you give us anything, the latest, if you weren't aware, was he was just going to get more imaging. They were going to just kind of look more at the issue at hand to really find out what the issue truly is. So what's the update on Aaron Judge?
So the update is basically the exact imaging, okay? So Aaron Judge went for an MRI last night. Aaron Boone has now said today is X-ray and CAT scan. The Yankees are, quote, still looking for a complete diagnosis.
What?
They still don't know.
They still don't know days later, and he's getting, like, any test anybody could ever get, he's getting all of them.
What do you make of that, T? Because I think most of us have no idea what to take.
That means that they don't know. And when you don't know, then you're worried about it being something like deeper than what it on the surface probably is. So it's the fact that you don't just look at an image, whether that's an X-ray or CAT scan, and it says, all right, we know exactly what this is. The fact that they still don't know, that's a little concerning.
And here's the follow-up. About a minute ago, Brian Hoke has this on Twitter. Why haven't the Yankees placed Aaron Judge on the IL? They are still, quote, hoping there's a chance, end quote, he won't miss many games, Aaron Boone said, and, quote, I want to know, I think, as much or more than all of you, Boone said. This is weird.
I'm sure he does want to know. We all want to know, and they're doing their due diligence to find out what the issue is. I think that most of us jump to the conclusion that the more time that goes by where you don't know what it is, the more concerned you get.
Yep.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out, Teak, who you know a lot of things more than I do, many things. I can make a list of. The Tiki Barber knows more than me. The only things I got is like WWE.
How to score a baseball game.
How to score a baseball game. Presidents, I put my knowledge up against
definitely. You got me on presidents.
And I do have, if you want to actually hear from Aaron Boone, about 35 seconds of him on Judge here.
Yeah, let's hear from Aaron, because what we're all trying to figure out is what could possibly be the worst case scenario that they're fearing. But before we get that opinion, here's the manager of the New York Yankees.
I got nothing for you yet. Sorry.
Literally nothing on Aaron Judge?
No, I absolutely expect something in the next couple hours or even immediately. He went for more testing today just because he's got edema in there, so they want to get much specific images as they can to try and see exactly what we have. So he had those this morning, waiting on the doctor to read those and hopefully have a final diagnosis here.
So the no update is the update. The no update is what concerns you. Knowing what the injury is, which is a bone bruise in his
upper ribs, which
is causing pain in his arm,
his shoulder, causing pain in his shoulder, which is why we had the caller yesterday allude to the thoracic outlet syndrome, which is where the nerves or those blood vessels up near your upper collarbone, they get pinched by a swelling or a fracture or some or displacement of that upper rib cage, and it causes numbness. It causes just an awkward feeling, sometimes pain in your shoulder. And I'm not sure what the process is. I guess you could have some sort of procedure. Didn't we? Who were we talking about yesterday that actually had a rib removed, like one of those upper ribs removed? Oh. But like doing that is putting Aaron Judge out of commission for a while. So let's hope that it's not that serious, but that's probably the most serious one that we could get.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
This whole thing
feels like it comes out of nowhere. That's why it's crazy.
Yeah, because there wasn't like we're all kind of doing what we did with Mitch, where we're trying to figure out where it happened and speculate where it happened.
Right, and when.
And we don't really know. And now you're sitting here waiting for, well, what update do you want? Obviously, the best update is, hey, he's day-to-day. He's not going on the IL. It's a bone bruise. He's fine. But, like, I remember with the shoulder issue or the elbow issue he had last year, there was a fear of Tommy John surgery. Like, that was a real thing, and it was a very scary couple of days if you're a Yankee fan and you knew what you were trying to avoid. I just don't know enough about this, and it's not that common in baseball. Like, a lot of times there are injuries, and you're just used to it, like an oblique strain. We're used to it. A hamstring issue. We're used to it, and we kind of know the deal. I just don't know what the deal is with this. It's a very strange thing that Aaron Judge is going through.
It's frustrating, man. This sucks.
Yeah. Well, bottom line is
you want
this.
to update our return dates, by the way, because they may be April. Okay.
I know.
Well, no. We already made our Aaron Judge return predictions. We're not going to change it every time Aaron Boone doesn't give us an update. All right? Calm down over
Also, you're waiting for the doctor to read the images. You're not us in the ER with a pulled back. You're Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Once the image is there, have a doctor there. What are we talking about?
I think that if you're a doctor, you have to prioritize everybody. Like, you can't just put Aaron Judge at top of the line, can you? Don't you have to check out Hubie, who came in and also has a sore rib cage?
I think you do, but Aaron Judge, again, is not at some random hospital. Have the guy here at Yankee Stadium ready to go. Let's go.
What's crazy about this story is this would be such a lead story most days, but because of the Knicks, it's almost forgotten about. I mean, there was a lot of Yankee fans who didn't even watch the game last night who were like, oh, yeah, I'll check in on them. We got a long season, which makes sense. It's a 162-game season. But, yeah, the Aaron Judge stuff is like, it's like under the radar right now.
I'm glad you brought that up. Bar I was at, Yankee game was on one TV. Knicks were on the other 30. They shut off the one TV at 4-2. And I made the executive decision not to say anything to the bar owner to put it back. Do you think I made the right call?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, clearly you're the only one that cared at that point.
Yeah, I looked around.
Nobody
I did a head
wanted to
count.
be brought down.
Yeah, and I was like, I think I'm in the wrong here if I tell him to put that TV back.
Let's go to Neil in Bergen County. What's going on, Neil?
What's up, Neil?
Tiki.
What's up?
You know why they speak English?
Tell us.
It's fine. It's finance. Nothing has to do with how close the countries are. They teach English in Asia, everything from the youngest age.
For finance? Explain
because
that.
The world.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because the world runs on the American dollar.
Yes, it used to be the gold standard. You're right. It used to be the gold standard.
No, not the gold standard. No, we're not going back to 1972.
That's what I'm saying. It used to be.
Nixon. No.
It used to be. It's not any longer.
Our world runs around the world runs around America's money.
So how long have they been doing this? Since the 70s?
Well, but that's my point. Do you think they've been teaching English? Again, you said because they're close together.
I'm just talking about. I'm guessing common language. It's because they're so tight. Like their countries are like our states.
That's been going on for a lot longer. They've been close together for a lot longer than we've existed. They teach English at a very young age, including Asia, Korea, because international language is money. And we are still the biggest money situation.
The guy I spoke to in Italy, who was about 21 years old and spoke perfect English when he was giving us one of these bike tours, where he's biking, we're all in some kind of carriage, and he's giving us a tour of Rome, Italy. His explanation was because of the tourists, that so many American tourists come here that speaking English it helps in that regard. And it certainly did help, because if he gave us that tour in Italian, I wouldn't have understood a damn word he said. And I was trying. I was trying to learn it.
Yeah, but countrywide? Is tourism that big of a deal?
I think
countrywide?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, man. Like, dude, you've been to Europe more than everybody. Don't you see a bunch of dirty Americans there all the time? Like, just infiltrating. Like, we just take over.
No, I see everybody.
Do you?
Yeah. I see all kinds of
What's that place with the water that's surrounded by water?
Venice.
Venice. Okay. Venice feels like Disney World. It doesn't even feel like a real place.
Yeah.
I felt like everybody was an American in Venice, except for the people that,
that's
riding
because
the boats.
Well, that's because Venice is a place that every American thinks they have to see. We got to go see Venice. We have to. We're in Italy. Let's go see Venice. And so it's overrun. It's overcrowded. In fact, they almost put not an American, but a tourist tax to go into Venice because it was so overcrowded. It's uncomfortably overcrowded when you go to Venice.
Completely. Let's go to Brandon, who's calling from Wappingers. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, fellas, just a few points here. Once again, we saw the difference between Mike Brown and the coaching opposition, and I don't just mean analytically. But Mitch Johnson, his best scorer last night, we can all agree, is Dylan Harper, and Mitch has him on the bench, the most important minutes of the game. Secondly, you cannot have Castle and Fox giving Wemby the ball at the top of the key when he's not nearly as elite as when he's on the elbow. Every time he drove from the top, other than that dunk,
right,
we stripped him. Second, give Josh Hart his flowers, 27 minutes, 15 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals. You got to love that. And the last thing I'll leave you with, the best fourth quarter team in the regular season were the Knicks. Yep. Say what you want about their regular season because they didn't finish the 1 seed, but they have continued to dominate in the fourth quarter throughout the entirety of the playoffs. And when you're that consistent in the fourth quarter, it leads to success. Marash, I'm with you, buddy. Knicks in 4. Let's go.
That's right. Our Knicks.
Nice.
Our Knicks.
Jeez, this is sickening that Sean Morash is now going to be like the leader of the brigade of Knicks in 4.
You had to sit here and troll everybody with your losers lose and the Spurs win. I was a man of the people, Evan, and you were not.
Sean, I want to make this very, very clear because it kind of offends me when I hear this. Unless I'm a self-troll, it's not trolling to say that I think there are certain teams in this town where I need to see it to believe it. And I feel that way about the Jets. I feel that way about the Mets. And I certainly feel that way about the Knicks, even if they're not a team I root for. So people don't have to like it. It's called being honest. Like, I can't pretend. I can't just come on and say, all right, let me pick something to pretend. I'll go Knicks in 6. Let me just pretend. That would be pretending. Now, I don't know what your deal is with Knicks in 4. All I know is you're leading a revolution. That's all I know.
And he might be right.
And he might be right. And, he talks about the fourth quarter. And I touched on this very briefly towards the beginning of the show, but it's very important to shine a light on the first 4.5 minutes of the fourth quarter last night in Texas. Remember, it's a tie game going into the fourth quarter. Mike Brown starts the fourth quarter with Alvarado, Deuce, Shamet, OG, and Cat on the floor. No Jalen Brunson. OG Anunoby, who was incredibly quiet offensively all night long, scored 8 points in the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
With Jalen Brunson on the bench, OG Anunoby, who had done very little offensively over the first 3 quarters, scored 8 points in 3.5 minutes. And when they went back to Brunson with 7.5 minutes to go, and actually gave OG a blow, OG actually came out of the game, they had a 6-point lead. And I think when you look at sequences from last night, and there's a lot of them, that's the beauty of a basketball game. It's why I hate when people say, hey, just watch the last 2 minutes. Shut your mouth. Watch the last 2 minutes. It's offensive to anyone that actually loves this sport. It's offensive. How about the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter? And I thought what OG Anunoby did in that sequence while Jalen Brunson was resting was as important a sequence as the Knicks played all night. How about that?
Okay.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Anyhow, when we come back, more of your phone calls. What Wembanyama said after the game, that was very curious. And we check in on the Mike Breen Bangs. We mentioned that yesterday, that I would be sitting at home scoring the Breen Bangs. You may be very surprised at the results we came up with. WFAN and Corona throwing a watch party tomorrow night as New York takes on San Antonio for Game 2 of the Finals. Join former player Charles Smith, along with our very own Positive Tommy, who claimed last night I was going to open by saying the Knicks are winning an NBA title. Tommy, I, like the Mets and Jets, I don't think I'll say it until they do it. So, spoiler alert for you. Anyhow, they'll be hanging out at Blue Haven West on Houston Street in New York City. Corona will be flowing all game long with specials and swag for fans, just like the team is on the hardwood. Corona's always smooth, always refreshing, and goes perfectly watching a game. It's Game 2 tomorrow night at Blue Haven West on Houston Street. Enjoy Corona buckets and watch New York drop buckets with Corona and the Fan. Please drink responsibly.
I'm always incredibly busy, juggling life and always on the go. So knowing my family is safe, especially when I'm not with them, is so important. It's why we turn to our partners at Slomin's, who recently installed the Slomin Shield Link system. It's a smart home security solution combining safety, convenience, and peace of mind that I can manage right from my phone. From the cameras, garage door openers, the lighting control, Alexa control, All the doorbell cameras and all the lighting turn on and lock when I lock my doors and turn the alarm on. It is so convenient and easy. You should experience it as well. The future of home security and automation with Sloman's ShieldLink system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit slomans.com.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Name a player in the NBA you would rather have with the ball in his hands late in the playoff game than Jalen Brunson. I would take Brunson over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would take Brunson over Wemby. I would take Brunson over Luka. I would take Brunson over Giannis. I would take Brunson over Jokic. He is Captain Clutch. Another incredible performance in Game 1, leading the Knicks to a victory. I'm Nick Costos.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Sunshine, high 75.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Hi, this is John Starks, and I'm Tyler Kolek. At John Starks Kia, we don't play games. No gimmicks, no tricks, no hidden fees, no surprises. Lease a Kia Sportage for just $333 a month with just $3 due at signing. What we say is what it is, period. See you at John Starks Kia in Queens. Go New York, go New York, go.
36-month lease excludes tax, title, and MV fees. No security deposit required. 10,000 miles per year. Expires July 6th.
As the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026, Bank of America knows how much hard work it takes to achieve a dream. So when it comes to owning a home, we're here to help. Get guidance and resources to buy a home you love, including up to $17,500 in select markets when combining down payment and closing cost grants. Visit BofA.com/home team. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. Equal Housing Lender. Credit and collateral is subject to approval. Restrictions apply. This is not a commitment to lend.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. After years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. With Red Pocket Mobile, you lock in your rate and you keep it. No price creep, no sudden jumps, just straightforward pricing and premium 5G plans starting at $10 a month. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier. Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long, with more ways to build and more value every time you play. You can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more. Build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Head to FanDuel.com/New York to get started. That's FanDuel.com/New York, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. We just love the app around here. It has all the betting markets you could possibly want. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Little afternoon here on the Fan. Evan and Tiki. Yankee baseball is going to be on the AM side coming up at 1 o'clock. We will remain on the FM side to talk about the New York Knicks. Game 1 had everything, including a fan running on the court with 6.5 minutes to go. A statement released by the NBA says this about said selfie fan. The individual who entered the court during Game 1 of the finals was arrested and will be banned for life from all NBA arenas. A second individual who also received a lifetime ban for his role in the incident. Is it worth it, you clown? You took a stupid picture that cut off the head of Wembanyama. You got mean mugged by Mitchell Robinson, and you didn't even get to watch the last 6.5 minutes, which I guess, if you're a Spur fan, is probably a good thing. Because you didn't miss any field goals being made by any Spur player outside of a 3 by Wemby. So, you know what? Maybe you made the right decision. Maybe I should have made that decision at the end of Game 7 of the 2006 NLCS. And I never would have seen Beltran strike out. I should have ran on the field before Yachty hit the home run. And sure, I'd have been banned for life from watching a baseball team not win for 20 years. But guess what? I also wouldn't have seen the horrible ending. So maybe, Tiki, that guy was playing 4D chess.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. He just wanted to be cool. He wanted to make a name for himself. Instead, he spent the night in jail.
Well, either way, the Knicks are 3 wins away from winning an NBA championship. CP, the franchise, was on late last night after the Knicks victory. I know he's giddy. CP, can you feel it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it, bro?
Fellas, good afternoon. How are we feeling today, man?
Fantastic.
Orange and blue skies, man. Orange and blue skies. Evan, hold on 1 second, Evan. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
How long have you been working at this station?
Boy, I think it's about 18 years now. 19 years.
Okay.
I lost count.
Almost 2 decades at the station, and you don't have the right number to give me to call in. I'm calling in like 100 times. The line's busy. Tiki, he gives me the private line. I go to the private line. Nobody answers. It puts me out to like some operator in the newsroom. They're like, I have no idea how to get you inside. I mean, come on, Evan, now. Come on, man.
Bro, here's my defense of that, though. You know how many times they've changed the freaking number? They've changed it like 100 times, bro.
Also, some operator was Chris McMonagle.
Yeah, one of the operators was Big Mac. He don't know what's going on.
Yes, it was Mac. It was. Shout out to C-Mac, man. That's my guy.
So funny. How you feeling, man? That was something last night. I mean, I guess it's typical of the team that we've seen all year, one of the best fourth quarter teams ever, but are you kind of pinching yourself with what this team continues to do?
Honestly, not really. I was just in the studio with you guys last week. I said number 11 is going to find a way to get it done, come hella high water. I mean, look at the guy went to the locker room with a knee. He gets his foot stepped on. He's mangled, screaming in pain, and still puts the cape on and takes the team to victory. Well, you mentioned it with their fourth quarter heroics. Isn't that the identity now? Yeah. Like we've been asking ourselves all year, what's their identity? Is it offense? Is it defense? They don't know who they are. But time and time again, this team comes up big in the fourth quarter. It was absolutely sensational. Good job. Great job. And it wasn't even their best shot. It wasn't their best game.
Yeah, it's a resiliency. That's their identity. Where did you watch this last night, CP?
Oh, the Knicks Fan TV watch party was on steroids last night. I've been telling you to pull up on us for like 3 years now.
Yeah, you have.
You got to pull up.
You have. Where was it, though?
We were at Slate. Man. It was a packed house. Yeah, raucous house. We had a nice early pregame show, live show for the people. And we had probably about 700 people, man. It was insane. Both floors rocking. It was absolute pandemonium. Not pandemonium, fandemonium.
Was there, when Jalen goes down, and I was playing a clip earlier of us talking about this in 2025 last year, that you almost have to be relaxed when Jalen goes down because he'll come back. Like, that's usually the story of Jalen Brunson, where there's an injury and he will return. You're around 700 Knicks fans. Was there a level of concern for both injuries, maybe one more than the other, that maybe it wasn't going to be your typical Jalen Brunson's going to come back and be fine?
Yeah, especially with the knee, because, we seen injuries like that, and you're like, oh, man, is that like a little meniscus? Is that an MCL situation? They panned the camera to him walking into the locker room, wincing. So, yeah, I mean, it was quiet at the party at that point. But, I go back like 2 years ago. I remember Game 4, Knicks in Philly. I'm at that game, and it was a similar situation. The guy could barely walk. He walks back to the locker room, comes back out, and he drops 47 on the Philadelphia 76ers. So, that's just the captain, man. He was unbelievable last night and stole the show from Wemby and those guys in Game 1.
Let's evaluate, because we started the show talking about Mike Brown and how he's just out coaching right now, Mitch Johnson. So it just feels like this conversation about the head coach of the Knicks has elevated every round. You can't help but give him his kudos.
The experience. He's been there before, right? As an assistant coach, for sure. Even in the failures, even in the firings. I mean, the experience, you can see it on the court. Especially the game plan in really attacking Wemby, forcing him to cover ground and try to get him to that bench. The best thing that they can do is get him out of the game so that he's completely on the bench, he's tired, and then you have more opportunities to attack the basket, because when he's out there, he completely changes your game plan, and they force you into taking tough shots. And, the Knicks shot 31% from three in the totality of the game, but when he's out of the game, it's their best shot to get good offense.
It felt like Cat was so aggressive, and at so many times over the course of this season, there'd be second halves where he'd disappear, where you almost forget he's on the roster. And we remember that interview he had with Barkley and Shaq, where they were basically saying, dude, you gotta be aggressive. You gotta be aggressive. Yeah. And Cat almost misunderstood him, like, no, man, we're a team, like, we're all together. But I almost saw that in his eyes last night. Not just that speech he gave about defense, and his defense has been great, but you could see an aggression in Karl Anthony Towns that at times we haven't seen in his tenure with the New York Knicks.
He was relentless against everybody, in particular Wembanyama. That was my key matchup to watch in this series. His defense on Wemby, he was physical. He attacked him on his drives, but then when they drew the switches, he went after the smaller Spurs players. And when the Spurs got caught on Karl Anthony Towns in cross matchups, he attacked the offensive glass, and that one big putback that he had in the fourth quarter, it just seemed like Karl, his contributions, especially offensively, came at times when the Spurs were trying to make those runs, and he would just will this team back into the game. He was great on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, what do you think San Antonio does? It's not massive adjustments, because look, they were leading this game midway through the third quarter. But what massive adjustments or minor adjustments, I should say, do you think they're going to make in order to hold on to a game like they lost last night?
Well, the last call, the previous call, had a great point. Them going away from Dylan Harper, I thought, was a big mistake. And the Knicks are going to have to find an answer for him, man. Yeah. He was relentless, aggressively attacking the basket, very physical with the Knicks defenders, and they seem to have no answer for him in terms of keeping him in front of him. So I think the Spurs will go back to him in big spots. But, look, they only shot 26% from three. Outside of the Champagny heroics in the first half, I mean, he was bricking left and right in the second half. Could they shoot it a little bit better in Game 2? Certainly possible. They're a very streaky shooting team. And so, look, they're going to lean on that. They're going to be a desperate team. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on the rim, Stephon Castle as well, depending on who's refereeing this game. If it's Tony Brothers, forget about it. The Knicks might as well think they're going to go 6 on 5. So they're going to have to be on. They're going to have to be on guard for that on Friday.
Well, you've said this a lot, and I agree with you in general about the NBA, that when a team loses game 1, they're going to get that whistle in game 2. It's almost like this. Yeah. So you almost have to be prepared for that in game 2 as a Knicks fan watching, and certainly if you're the Knicks as a team.
The game 2 juju, especially with the NBA Finals. You got Commissioner Silver in the building and all the dignitaries and all that. So the Knicks are going to be up against it, but I think they can also have confidence in the fact that, again, it wasn't their best game. They didn't shoot the ball all that well. Mikal Bridges has a ways to go. I think OG found his offense late in the fourth with big shots. Those 2 threes that he hit over Wemby were tremendous. So I think as a team, they can all think, hey, we still have more room to grow and more to go here in this series, but they were good last night.
I mean, I got to tell you, though, the team that should feel aggrieved is the Knicks with the fouls. I mean, I know the Spurs are the ones that might be looking to get more, what do they have, 28 free throw, whatever it was. But the Knicks got none. There's a ton of fouls that they missed. So, I mean, if they're going to be more judicious about the calls, it's actually going to benefit the Knicks.
They were absolutely mauled last night. I mean, one of the plays you saw Jalen Brunson's whole jersey get pulled like a holding call in football, and right in front of Scott Foster, nobody even called it. And Mike Brown, in his post-game press conference, he was great. He talked about the fact that both him and the players were complaining to the point where Rick Brunson had to tell all of them, Mike Brown including, to shut up.
Yeah.
And so to channel their energy to the court. And, that's what I was looking at as well, especially with Karl Anthony Towns and like Josh Hart. Those players that kind of wear their heart on their sleeve. They're a bit more emotional, just seeing how they would respond to that adversity. So we'll see what happens come Friday.
These watch parties have become legendary. The Garden was sold out in 2 minutes, and it was packed last night. You have your watch party. What's the plan for Game 2? And then the big question is, are you going to be in the building for Game 3?
Yeah. Well, are you going to be in the building for Game 3? Because I'm hearing that you're wheeling and dealing and hustling Knicks fans out there. Are you going to be in the building for Game 3?
CP, I will raise my hand and tell you it is a done deal. I will indeed be in the building for Game 3.
Wow.
And the good news is I will be with a Knicks fan. So I'm not bringing in a Spur fan. I'm not bringing a Net fan in. There will be a Knicks fan next to me, and I will be in the building for Game 3. I'm very excited. I know that. It's like, I don't know what's going on. I try to help people out with this in terms of like the ticket sales, because I was told they were going on sale on Thursday. They never went on sale. The Fan First program, which the Knicks instituted a couple of years ago, also never put tickets on sale. So there's a cloud of mystery in terms of like ticket sales for people that are still trying to go. We know about the secondary market, how crazy it is, but do you have any idea about the Knicks putting tickets on sale? Because it sounds like they still haven't done it.
Yeah, they still have not done it. As you said, they pulled the Fan First release, which was supposed to be last Tuesday. The general public sale was supposed to be last Friday. Wow. They pulled both of those. And so, look, I think the whammy bammy is coming, man. I think the big one is coming. Probably, it could be this weekend, could be Monday, could be Tuesday, but it's coming. Where if you want to get into the building, you're going to have to, think about paying that mortgage.
So are you going? Are you going to be in the building for Game 3 or Game 4? Okay.
I'm in there. I'm in there. I've been 27 years. It's go time. I'm in there, man.
Nah, and you and many of the other diehards deserve it, because this is it's going to be a special moment, Game 3. What's your gut now? Do you think you go into it up 2-0, or you think the Spurs find a way to split tomorrow night?
We're going 2-0, man. The fans want to sweep. This is a team of destiny. I told you guys that last week. I still picked Spurs in 6, but the way I saw the Knicks handle that adversity last night and playing one of their worst games, this is kind of reminding me of Cleveland. I think there's too many weapons on this Knicks team. How about Shamet? Shamet finding his offense, and Mike Brown just pushing all the right buttons with the rotations. Sometimes it's Shamet, could be Deuce. You might not need Bridges. Josh Hart with the 15 rebounds. Everybody's filling their role. They're playing their role well. I think they go back to the Garden up 2-0 and, say goodnight to New York City, man. Stay inside.
Could you imagine, and by the way, you'll have fun with this on Knick Fan TV, spending the entire summer breaking down if this is the greatest team of all time? Because if you guys sweep the Spurs, it's a real discussion that one has to have, considering the run they're on.
It would certainly be the best Knicks team of all time.
Yeah,
sure.
So now you're talking about the greatest team of. There's no chance, right?
No, the greatest team of all time?
Yeah, there's no chance.
I mean, the greatest playoff run of all time will be up there. They're going to have the greatest point differential of all time. Obviously, it's tough to compare to a team that won over 70 games like the 96 Bulls. I get that. But in terms of a playoff run, if they sweep the Spurs, like if that actually happens, and we're talking about a 15-game winning streak and a point differential that would be through the roof. Even if they win every game by one, the point differential would be through the roof based on what they've already done. Yeah, you are talking about one of the greatest playoff
because
runs of all time.
the Warriors did that one of those years, right? 15 straight.
2015.
Yep. Right. So, I mean, you might put it up there. The problem is you'll look at the regular season and you'll say, yeah, but they didn't have a dominant regular season. You'll say it was the greatest postseason run of all time. But again, you're going to get the weak competition argument, and it's nonsense because they blew out those teams that were supposedly inferior to them. And if the Spurs end up losing all these games by double digits, you're going to now say the Spurs are inferior too because they're young. Like you can't win no matter what. The argument is never going to go in the Knicks' favor because people want to hate on the Knicks even if they're dominant.
Always. Yeah, that's a fact. But listen, man, if they win the chip, they sweep the Spurs, forget about it. You can forget about everything that happened in the regular season, forget about all of it. Them being the champions crashes all, man.
Right.
All that matters.
Good night.
All right, CP, keep up the good work. Knicks Fan TV after each game. Always good talking to you. I'm sure we'll talk to you plenty more as this series rolls on. We appreciate it, man.
My guys, always appreciate it, man.
See you, CP.
Thank you, pal. CP, the franchise. So last night, as the Knicks were winning this game, and I promised this to you yesterday. So remember Mike Breen was on with Pardon My Take, and Big Cat had this brilliant idea, all the credit to him, that they would keep track of the amount of bangs Mike Breen used throughout the NBA Finals.
Yes.
And I said, look, I don't know if Big Cat's being serious. I don't know if he's actually going to keep track, but I know I will. I'm a big enough geek where I'm going to sit there, I'm going to watch this game, and I'm going to write down every bang. I have the results. I am stunned by what I'm about to present to you, Tiki Barber.
Yeah.
In this entire game, which was a very entertaining basketball game, unless I missed something, and I don't think I did because I was very careful, I counted one total bang.
There was only one.
There was only one. And if you missed it, it was this play in which Jalen Brunson kept a possession alive and then eventually hit the game-winning, what ultimately turned into the game-winning three. Take a listen.
2 minutes to go. Brunson, the drive, gets inside and just kicks it out. Up top the Hart. And Anunoby straight on three. Brunson keeps it alive. Bridges looks. Back to Brunson. Corner three is up. Bang! Jalen Brunson from downtown. And the Knicks take a 2-point lead.
So here's what I don't know.
He limited the bangs.
Yeah, but did he, or do we not realize that he only does a bang a game?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's a great question because no one's ever kept track of bangs. So we don't know how many he does per game.
The more I thought about this, because yesterday I gave 3 because I was thinking low, the reason the double bang is so special is because the bang itself is so special. He's not just banging all game long.
I think you're right. Because I don't think if I had to guess, and now you're putting me in a spot where I have to rewatch old games and count bangs. I don't think he did anything different last night. I think he saves the bang for big spots, which I never fully realized.
You can't have a first half bang unless it's a buzzer beater.
Well, no, you can't. First half bang is non-existent.
Right.
Those don't happen. It's almost always got to be only fourth quarter bangs because that's when the game is in its most critical moment, right?
Yeah.
So
because when Marv did yes, he did it all the time.
Yeah, but that was yes. That's not bang. Bang is different than yes.
Yeah, Breen does what a middle-aged woman needs to do. Cut the bangs. That's exactly what needs to happen here.
There was one moment that I went back on because I was convinced
he was talking about hair, by the way.
I know what he was referring to.
Good hair.
I don't know. People could be thinking something else.
Well, let them think that. That's what I thought you meant when you said middle-aged woman.
Frustrated husbands over there.
Before you finished your thought, that's exactly what I thought you were doing. But no, it was a hair joke by Sean. It's funny he's got hair jokes considering he doesn't have any, but it's all fine.
Is that necessary?
There was one play I had to rewind because I was convinced there was a bang. And I'll play it for you. And it was a huge play in the game. At the end of the third quarter, Deuce McBride banked in a 3 from the corner. Do you guys remember that one?
Yes.
Listen to the call because I thought I heard a bang to where I had to rewind it just to hear if it was a bang or not.
Hart has to pass it out. McBride, corner three. Banks a hit from the corner. Right the angle on that shot. It's tied again. Final seconds.
So he banked it in from the corner, but it kind of sounded like he banged it in from the corner. So, yeah, no bang. No Spur bang, no other Nick bang.
Mm-hmm.
And so all our predictions were wrong. Yesterday, Tiki predicted 7 Nick bangs.
Mm-hmm.
There was 1. And 3 Spur bangs. There was 0. Sean predicted 2 Nick bangs. There was 1. And 1 Spur bang. There was 0. And I predicted 4 Nick bangs. There was 1. And 2 Spur bangs. There was 0. So I will continue to keep track, and I will report back into you as this series continues.
He might be bang conscious right now. So,
but do you really think that's it, or do you think he's caught, or is this what he does
asked,
and we didn't know?
He got asked about it on the roommates podcast. So of course he's conscious of it. It's not going to just fly flippantly off his tongue.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask Dan to do me a favor because I was thinking about doing this myself, and I'm like, I cannot get away with this. Thursday's an off night. There's no Mets. The Yankees play during the day. I don't care about the hockey. Like, I've got a legitimate off night. I cannot rewatch a game, but I think I need Dan, the archivist of Evan and Tiki, to pick any Mike Breen game he wants from the last decade and just rewatch it and count the bangs. So we can get a perspective on what Mike Breen bangs in terms of a normal game.
Can't AI do this?
Do you trust AI to do this?
Not really, but can't it?
Okay, go ask AI how many times Mike Breen bangs in a given game, and you let me know what AI tells you.
All right, I will.
Be careful on the links that come in.
God knows what's going to come up with that. Let's go to Frank in Wallingford. What's up, Frank?
Hey, I just wanted to talk to you about Daniel Murphy and his reference to socialism.
Yeah.
They were talking.
Yes.
They were talking about spreading out the wealth because every Mariner had hit a home run.
Yes.
So socialists spread the wealth.
Oh, got it. Oh, that's why he said that.
Isn't that what I said? Did I not word that correctly?
You said he mentioned socialist. You didn't explain why he said socialist.
Oh, I got you.
So he gave the reason why he brought up socialism.
I have the clip right here. Hopefully you can hear it. Take a listen. You ready?
11 players have hit home runs over this stretch. Just sharing the wealth. Socialists.
I think the way he said it, too, is very funny.
Yes.
Socialists. Yeah.
So
I think that
AI tells me Mike Breen averages 1 to 2 per game. They are entirely unscripted, but he saved the iconic call for clutch game-changing 3-pointers and only breaks it down when a shot truly warrants it.
Wow, so this is truly who he is. It's 1 to 2 per game. This was only 1. Obviously, if like Wemby had made a 3 in response, maybe we would have gotten a counter bang.
Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
The double bang is reserved historically for spectacular, unpredictable, or buzzer-beating shots. So the double banger comes at buzzer beaters. And the triple bang has never actually been used.
Yeah, that's why we brought this up a few weeks ago because I think it was a year ago, Breen did an interview with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart in which they asked him, would he ever whip out a triple bang? And his answer was, if one of you guys or a Knick hits a game-winning shot in the NBA Finals.
Yes.
And here we are. We're in the NBA Finals. The Knicks are here, so it's opened up the possibility of a triple bang. But, man, I am, as someone who watches so much basketball and so much Mike Breen over the years, it's amazing what you don't realize if you're not scoring it.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't have guessed that. 1 a game? I wouldn't have guessed that.
1 to 2 a game. AI interpreted the triple bang as the scenario being a game 7, or let's call it just a closeout game, series-winning half-court buzzer beater to win a championship. That's the only time you're getting the triple bang.
Well, we'll see if that is a possibility over the next 2 weeks. More of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019. And Victor Wembanyama, in talking about adjustments for Game 2, made some very interesting comments that Tiki, as a former athlete, will help us dissect. Plus, the King of New York debate came up again, and it wasn't even our fault. We'll find out why. But our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
There's no better time than now to upgrade your home with Windorama's Summer Savings Event. Save up to 40% when you install with Windorama. Choose from top brands like Anderson Windows and Doors and Master Shield Gutter Guards. Book your free consultation, in-home consultation, shop from home, and let their local certified experts handle it all. A stress-free process from measurement to installation. And when you shop in stock inventory, they'll install in just 14 days. Visit windowrama.com and book now.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
When the halftime horn sounds, head right to WFAN's YouTube page for a special live stream of The Carton Show with Chris McMonagle. There's no other halftime show for the real New York Hoops fan on this championship run. Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle, exclusively during every halftime of every game on WFAN's YouTube page. And it's all brought to you by C4 Energy and Premio Sausage, and your home for New York sports, WFAN.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $365 in bonus bets just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Maryland. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof. We've got specialists for that. Layup? Take you down? We've got specialists for that. With nearly 50 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
When you own your own business, you own every decision.
Catch the red eye or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with a toast at the gate or unwind at the lounge.
Big props to this team. Some decisions are a win-win, like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
The savings are coming! Wow! He showed up just in time.
It's America's 250th birthday. We're celebrating a month early at Nielsen Dodge.
By giving you freedom of choice. Save up to $250 off service. Save up to $250 off accessories.
With leases for $250 or under.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S 4-door 4x4, just $249 a month. Leased with loyalty for just $229 a month.
There's always zero down payment. The credit help you need. More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals. For leases $250 or under, hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
In the driver's seat. Make this the summer event.
With approval, term 36-24 months, due at sign, everyone $58.44 with loyalty $58.24. Add tax tag $498 doc and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit TremfyaRadio.com.
Hi, this is John Starks. At John Starks Kia, we don't play games. No gimmicks, no tricks, no hidden fees, no surprises, and no money down. See ya at John Starks Kia in Queens.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-game parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Looking for a great deal to stay connected? Now, for a limited time, new Verizon mobile and home customers can get Fios and a line of mobile for just $69.99 a month with AutoPay. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month and unlimited welcome for $50 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more and switch. For new Fios, internet, and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Additional terms apply. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. Coming up, 12:55 p.m. coverage on our AM dial, 6:60 a.m. Carlos Rodon takes on the Guardians. First pitch, 1:35. Aaron Judge, of course, out of the lineup still. And we're waiting word on imaging. As far as Giancarlo Stanton goes, he's going to continue swinging a bat, but he will not be rejoining the Yankees on this upcoming road trip, which would include the series in Toronto. So no Giancarlo Stanton still on the upcoming road trip.
We thank the New York Yankees because our show will be a full show. We'll be on until 2 o'clock. Same thing with Craig and Big Mac at 2. They'll have a full show. And if you want to hear the Yankees, you still can. They're going to be on the AM side with the pregame show beginning at 12:55 like Sean mentioned. So Yankee baseball in the afternoon, sports talk all throughout the day, much of it about the Knicks, who now lead the Spurs 1-0 in the NBA Finals. Before we hear from Wembanyama and some odd comments he made after game number 1, I don't know about you, I'm getting hungry. So, Shawnee, feed us.
Sean Moraes in the booth. Somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling. No! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking. Nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Roncho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
Let's go! Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything, everywhere. Just to put in context how long it has actually been since the last time we saw the Knicks lose a basketball game, I'm here to give you the 5 things that hadn't happened yet the last time the Knicks lost the game. All right, here we go.
Here we go! Number 5.
Abdul Carter hadn't tweeted in a while.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
Number 4.
Tiki Barber had not called Joel Embiid a bitch.
That's crazy.
I know, that feels like forever ago.
Yup.
Wow.
Number 3.
The Long Island Railroad strike had not happened.
Was that a thing? Oh, yeah, that happened. That's right.
And how long ago does that feel like?
Number 2.
Million years ago.
Number 2, Eddie Schizzeri still worked here.
Number 1.
And Carlos Mendoza was still the Mets manager. Oh, wait. Well, that'll live there anyway.
I know what you meant. Carlos has survived. Look, David Stearns wasn't lying when he said, I'm not firing him no matter what happens. I ain't firing him. It is amazing to think how long ago that actually was. And
that they lost, right. It's because it feels forever because we haven't talked basketball because they've swept.
They haven't played a lot of games either. I mean, there are two things going on at the same time. They're winning so often, they've barely played. And you wonder in the fourth quarter, and there's a reason why you can't say this definitively. It's tough to figure this out because the Knicks were a great fourth quarter team all year long. This is not new. It's not something they just found. But you do wonder if that rest helps them when they make a comeback the way they did in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Or late third quarter, early fourth quarter.
It doesn't hurt for sure.
Doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean it was the definitive reason, but there's a reason why sweeping a team or winning in 5 is always a good thing. You'd always rather have rest. It not only limits the possibilities of injuries because you're playing less unless you're Mitchell Robinson and you're doing something mysterious in your home, but you also kind of save some energy for the war that's at hand.
Right.
And who knows, maybe it did have an influence at the closing moments of this game because Wemby looked tired. Wemby looked beat up, and I don't know if that's just the physicality of the Knicks or the way they ran or the fact it was a 7-game series, 4-day. I mean, you come up with a million different reasons. But bottom line was the Knicks won, and they were the better fourth quarter team. Now, I want you to hear what Wemby said after the game because this could, to you, Tiki, be no big deal or it could be arrogance. Here's Victor Wembanyama after a Game 1 loss in which, remember, he did not play well. Offensively, at least, his stat line read as such. Wemby went 2 for 9 from 3, 6 for 21 from the field at 28%. He did end up with 26 and 12, but his shooting numbers less than efficient. Here's what Wemby said about what he needs to be better at in Game 2.
It's almost not like I have anything to figure out. It's almost like I have to play normal, not even good. It's like just doing the right things is enough.
What are your thoughts on that,
It's interesting. It feels like, I'm not going to say the language barrier thing because I don't think that's what it is, but I think there is a interpretation barrier from because he's saying things correctly. Obviously, he's not like stuttering or he's not using the wrong words, the wrong English, you know what I mean? But I think there is a nuance to how you say things, how you put words together. And so it sounds really cocky, but I don't think he's trying to be. I think he's just saying, I need to stop trying to do too much. I need to stop trying to do everything and just play like I usually do. You know what I mean? So I don't take this as he's slighting the Knicks in any way. I think he's just saying, I need to play like I always play. And that might not be enough, to be honest with you. Because if he scores, 5 more points, makes a couple more shots, do the Knicks still win? Most likely. So I think he's just trying to explain himself, and it sounds wrong, even though he's not actually saying the wrong thing.
It sounds arrogant.
Yes.
That's how it sounds. It sounds like someone who knows how good he is, and he is very good. We all know that. He's all world.
Yes.
But it was a very, I just have to not be horrible.
I think it's a nuance thing, to be honest with you. I think the nuance of the American language. Especially with sports vernacular.
Yeah, fair enough. I was curious your opinion on that.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a jerk. I mean, if he came off like a jerk, I would say he's just being an ass. But I don't think that's the case.
He's got big ass potential, though, doesn't he?
Oh, of course he does.
I could see him being a major ass at 27 years
old. Of course
old.
he does, but he hasn't shown that yet.
Not yet. He's still young. I think, win a couple of championships or a couple of bad losses. Like, I could see Wemby. Remember, and I don't think LeBron's ever overcome this. Like, LeBron James has a lot of people who really dislike him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's theories for many different reasons on why the decision, the way he left Cleveland, sure. Politics is probably one for some. But I really think when he sat there at the NBA Finals after he lost to Dallas and looked into a camera and said, hey, all you critics have miserable lives. And you got to go home to your stupid, pathetic life, and I'm still me.
Yeah.
I think that is very difficult for him to overcome with some of his critics. And I could see Wemby having a moment like that. I totally could. Well, Wemby's like, yeah, I got swept by the Knicks, but you know what? I'm tall. I'm beautiful. I'm going to go to vacation on the French Riviera. And all you're losers. I could see Wemby doing that. No? A little crazy?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm not co-signing that.
Give that time. Let's go to Don calling from New Jersey. What's up, Don?
Hey, guys. Great show. I don't know about you, but that introduction for the Knicks players was absolutely disrespectful and just horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they played clown music and pop-up pictures on the big screen.
Yes, and I think what you need to realize about that is it's very typical. So the NBA or broadcasting hasn't really shown us a lot of intros over the years. It's kind of a newer phenomenon that was brought back recently, probably with NBC, because NBC started doing it, and it feels like ESPN does it. Everybody now starts to show all of the intros. But as a guy who's been to a lot of dopey NBA games, that's what they do. Like,
but did they play clown music like that?
I don't know.
And here's the question: do you think that they do it again in Game 2?
Yes. It's probably their shtick. Like, I remember a lot of stuff. I write stuff down. I'm a big loser and all that. I can't tell you what the Nets and the Knicks have done over the years in terms of the opposing team, or even what the Yankees and Mets do necessarily with the starting lineups. But I know that, yeah, you downplay it, and sometimes you poke fun at it. And so I didn't think what the Spurs did last night was any more disrespectful than what you typically see at an NBA game. But it's one of those things where I'll also acknowledge to you, I don't remember what a lot of teams do at NBA games. I just know it's probably dopey and stupid like that. I can't imagine Josh Hart was offended.
No, I don't think they cared. They probably laughed at it. It's probably funny to them.
Let's go to Joe in Staten Island. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on? I think you got to go back in terms of the Judge injury all the way back to the World Baseball Classic. But, you know, the guy hasn't been right since the beginning of the season. He was missing upstairs, getting blown away by high fastballs. And I would say at least for the last month, he looked really off. And, you know, I mean, we could see this from sitting on our couch.
Hey,
what are these guys doing?
But, Joe, did he do something in the World Baseball Classic that we missed? Like, he did
have. I mean, that one game where maybe against Venezuela, I forgot who they were playing. He did have two diving plays in right field.
Oh,
well, maybe. That's what's challenging about an injury like this is you almost have to go back. It's another job for Dana, the official archivist.
That's a good call, though, Joe, because I didn't even think about it.
Well, but it could be not just the WBC. It could be any moment that we just don't remember. Like,
true, right, in the regular season as well.
It could be any swing. It could be any collision, any dive. Remember, the initial Aaron Judge injury involving similar injury with the ribs goes all the way back to 2019 in a game in September in which he dove for a ball down the right field line. And we didn't even know it at the time. He played through it.
Right,
Yankees got to the ALCS that year.
Right.
And we didn't know about the injury until the following year, and it got wiped out because of COVID. Like, he would have missed a significant part of the 2020 season, but he never did because we didn't have baseball. So when did the Judge injury occur is a great Where's Waldo question.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it was the WBC. It could have been something in April.
No, it's just speculation about what caused this and why he got off to such a slow start. Because Aaron Judge has been, I mean, obviously the back-to-back MVP, and he's been fantastic every single season. This year, he felt different.
But can I tell you why I disagree with that? So in 2024, and I hate to call you out about this, T, because it was many others, but we sit next to each other, so I remember. Aaron Judge got off to a terrible start. And you started speculating, dude, he may be hurt. Like, there's no other explanation for this.
Right.
And my pushback was, you know what, dude, it's April. He's going to figure it out. It's just a bad start. And he did. He ended up having an amazing season. So not all struggles are related to injuries. Sometimes we do it because guys are great and we're trying to figure out why. But 2024 was evidence that it wasn't an injury. He just got off to a bad start. So why would we assume, or why should we have assumed that his struggles, which were less this year than early 2024, why should we assume that was related to injuries?
No, you shouldn't have, except now you know it is related to injury.
Except now we know, yes. That's the answer is, but now we know,
yes.
Which we didn't then.
Right.
Let's go to Checo in Waldwick, New Jersey. What's up, Checo?
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the Knicks. So I have two things. I believe that it's going to be Knicks in 4, and I feel like as long as they stick together, I think they have no problem. One last thing. Speaking of Judge, is there any way we can try and get me field level tickets to the Red Sox game.
Are you asking for tickets? Did you literally turn your phone call into, can I have tickets for Yankees Red Sox? We don't do that here. Okay, go walk a lady across the street. What are you doing? Can't give tickets away, but you know what? It's worth a shot, right? You had nothing to lose.
Why not? Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. Like, I'm on the radio with Tiki Barber and Evan Roberts and Sean Morash. Why not ask for Yankee Red Sox tickets? Because the worst they could do is mock me, and then whatever. I still don't have tickets.
Not the worst. Much like the fan running on the court, Checo now has a 2-week banishment from calling the show.
Only 2 weeks, Sean?
We'll see about that, Evan.
Gary is in Monroe, New Jersey. Hey, Gary.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call, man. I want to talk about the Knicks and a lot of unsung heroes that I think in that game was a key. Was OG. He hit, when they were down, he hit some big three-pointers, and people don't talk about that. And he hit some key foul shots that really put them back in the game. Also, the little spark plug on the Knicks, Alvarado, when he fills in for Brunson, it's like you're not losing much. You know what I'm saying? And,
well, I think you are losing much, but I think that last night in the 10 minutes he supplied, he played a lot better than he normally does and gave you punch while he was out. So I think giving him credit for last night, the 7 bench points by Jose Alvarado, absolutely well-deserved. But you do lose a lot when Jalen's out for Alvarado. I can't rewrite like the Knicks season in that regard. But I think last night, when you're talking about underrated heroes, I think the shots he hit, I think Deuce hit a couple of big shots, including the banked-in 3 we talked about. And we spent a bunch of time on OG, especially the way he began the fourth quarter with Brunson on the bench, scoring 8 minutes in 3.5 minutes. Or 8 points in 3.5 minutes. So no doubt those guys played key roles in the Knicks pulling this game out last night. No doubt about it. But they do lose something when Jalen's on the bench.
Yeah, like the ability to score 30.
Let's not get crazy now.
I know.
Joe is in Woodland Park. Hey, Joe.
What's going on, guys? Love the show.
Thank you, man.
I just wanted to make sure we give Carl Anthony Towns all the props he deserves. He put his ego to the side from the minute he came to his team, coming to Brunson's team. And then when Brunson went out with that knee injury, he stepped in and was able to keep the team motivated through uncertainty. When they showed on the broadcast what he said in the huddle, it was just a beautiful moment. And, you could just tell that they were able to come back through his leadership and then maintain until Brunson came back in the game. And, I just want to give him his props.
He deserves it. And there's going to be a long line of people who will be gladly doing it because it means the Knicks have won, who owe the man an apology because he's taken a lot of heat. I think of all the Knicks players on this roster during this run that they've been on, the guy who's probably taken the most heat from this fan base is Karl Anthony Towns, more so than Mikal Bridges. And a part of it was high expectations. He's an incredible talent, and you watch him and you know what he's capable of doing. And there have been many times in which he hasn't fulfilled those capabilities. He is right now. He's become more of a playmaker, especially when the offense runs through him. And defensively, I mean, I'll never forget having the conversations with you guys over the last few years, asking, can a team win a championship when their two best players are minus defenders?
Right.
And right now,
we can't say that about them.
I can't say that about Cat.
No.
And even Bro, they are playing defense at a much higher level, especially Karl Anthony Towns. And I think that clip that he referred to from the broadcast last night of Cat being mic'd up and talking about the defensive intensity, that's going to go a long way with Knicks fans. They love to hear stuff like that. This is a franchise that's always been built on defense, and Cat's been playing defense at a very high level recently.
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize it, though, and talk about it because we always talk about how Cat offensively can be such an X factor. He pulls. And we saw it last night. He pulls Wemby away from the basket. And so if he can also be a plus defender, as he was last night, and we talked about Wemby on him as the primary defender, was, 9? He scored 9 points and had a bunch of turnovers. Cat has been doing it on both ends, and he's been doing it this entire postseason.
He has, and the aggression, too, because again, I think back to a lot of the critiques that I thought were fair about individual players over the years and months. And one of the critiques of Cat is the way he would disappear when they would need him the most, how in the fourth quarter he'd be non-existent. He took over when needed. His aggression was there last night.
Right.
And they need that. It's why what Shaq said to Cat a few months ago about, big man, they need you. You got to be great. You got to do this. You got to do that. He was right. And the difference is Cat's listening, and you're seeing the results. Jason in Manhattan. Hey, Jason.
Hey, guys, what's up? I wanted to say Wembanyama's comments are based in arrogance. I don't know, like, I don't have, like, any protection for him. I think his age, regardless, you know, not to characterize the French people, okay? But I've spent a lot of time in Paris, and they think their farts don't stink. They think they are above us all, and I think that's where this is coming from. He's just an.
So Tiki, as someone that's dealt with the French, are the French arrogant people?
They can be, but so can anybody, right? Americans can be arrogant as well. I actually love going to Paris. So we were there a couple weeks ago, or a month or so ago. So, I mean, generally, I'd say yeah, but I don't think that's what this is with Wembanyama. I think he's trying to be, he's just trying to answer the question. He just doesn't know how to answer the question the right way for us. For us.
You know what's crazy about the French? I feel like there are groups of people that you can talk about them in a negative way, and it's like, okay, it's like accepted in culture. And I believe the French are a part of that, where he could make that phone call and no one would bat an eye. No one would say, that's prejudice against the French. They would just be like, yeah, the French are arrogant. Like it's an accepted thing.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the reason that is because, like, we are friends with the French and also the whole World War II thing, that we basically saved them. Like, I don't know if that's a big part of it, because that's always, like, a response to the French, like, hey, if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German, right? Like, that's a very common thing that is said. So I wonder if that's a reason why that phone call, and really anybody talking about Wemby and the French in general, is such an accepted thing because of that relationship dating back to World War II.
But that's so historic. It's just so down the line, or so far past us historically, that it doesn't even matter. I don't think that's still. I know what you're saying because I've heard that before. But there's some 30-year-olds or younger, or maybe 35-year-olds and younger, who are like, "What the hell are you even talking about?"
So coming up right now on the FM side, we're going to stay on the radio. On the AM side, Yankee pregame is about to start. So if you're listening to us on 660 and you want to hear more Nick Talk, flip it on over to the Odyssey app or 1019. Vice versa, though. Like if you say, hey, I've heard enough of Evan and Tiki, I don't need to hear Craig and Big Mac gloat. They're okay with it. We got the Yankee game. Just make sure you come back when the Yankee game is over and everybody's happy. We're all family. We're all good. But the Yankees will be on the AM side and we will remain on the FM side really for the next few hours. Yankee game starts at 1:35. Figure it's over by about 4:15, 4 o'clock. You get the postgame show. And so Craig and Big Mac will be unified probably on both signals by around 5 o'clock, a little after 5 o'clock. So we're giving you a menu of items today as a sports fan. The talk radio about the Knicks and such, and then the Yankee game on the other side. So it's your choice how you want to do it. When we come back, we'll talk more to you at 888-808-1019. And I apologize, and Tiki apologizes. We feel really bad about it. For 3 years, we've had a stupid discussion about King of New York, and it won't go away. It infiltrated the morning show earlier today. We'll take a listen to what happened there. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is expanding across Long Island, New York City, and New Jersey, with new locations opening in Comac, Babylon, and West Orange. Expert care is closer than ever. Their top-rated doctors treat everything from everyday injuries to complex orthopedic conditions. Whether you're on wherever you are on your journey, they're there to help you move forward. They're the experts at getting you back to being you. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com to schedule your appointment today or call 855-321-ORTHO.
I'm always busy and on the go, so keeping my family safe, especially when I'm not with them, is of paramount importance. That's why we partnered with our friends at Sloman's, who recently installed the Sloman ShieldLink system. It is a smart home security solution combining safety, convenience, and peace of mind that's manageable right from my phone. Not only is it secure, meaning the doors lock whenever I turn on the alarm, the outdoor lighting comes on when it gets dark outside, but I can also control all the entertainment inside my house, from the living room to the sitting room, even in the kitchen. I can turn the music on right from my phone, whether I'm at home or wanting to mess with my family when I'm not there. Experience the future of home security and automation with the Sloman ShieldLink system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME, or visit slomans.com.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
If the San Antonio Spurs want to get back in the NBA Finals, win Game 2, knotted up at a game apiece heading to Madison Square Garden, Victor Wembanyama needs to start playing like the 7'5" monster that he is and stop pretending to be Steph Curry. 9 3-point attempts in game number 1 is not going to get the job done. Wemby needs to get down low, get easy shots, and get to the free throw line. I'm Nick Costos.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Metro New York. Ready for real savings? Switch to Allstate today. Because drivers who switched saved an average of $713 on their auto insurance. So, what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for an auto insurance quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Based on the national average annual savings for new customers surveyed in 2024, savings vary, subject to terms and availability.
Living with a chronic illness that requires IV medication? Say hello to state-of-the-art private suites for all of your infusion needs at ThriveWell Infusion, providing exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
WFAN and Corona are throwing a watch party Friday night, June 5th, as New York takes on San Antonio for Game 2. Join Charles Smith and WFAN's Positive Tommy at Blue Haven West on Houston Street in New York City. Please drink responsibly.
Summer's a gift. The gift of days that last a little longer. A brighter state of mind. So gift yourself a new Kia at the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. With specially tagged vehicles including the Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, as well as the Niro Hybrid. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So the gift of summer can keep on giving for summers to come. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Event ends 7/6/26. See dealer for warranty details.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This June, don't miss our midweek Money Rush drawing and your chance to win your share of $50,000. Be here on Wednesday, June 10th and 24th from 3 till 6 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to win $5,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., one winner will take home $5,000 cash plus any unclaimed cash from the previous drawings. Come to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. You know, in the game, you always need a backup plan, and your phone is no different. A second line from Red Pocket Mobile is perfect for side gigs, keeping your work and personal numbers separate, and just staying connected without the big carrier price tag. Starting at just $10 a month, you get your choice of 3 major 5G networks with no contracts or credit checks. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
This summer, cool down with Dunkin' Refreshers. Sip on black cherry or try the all-new pink pineapple. Or try one of their flavorful fan favorites like mango pineapple or strawberry dragon fruit. All of them are ice cold and refreshing. Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up, a whole lot of flavor and very refreshing. It's a sip of summer, only at Dunkin'. Dunkin' Refreshers are fruit-flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply.
If we're being honest, guys in this town, pretty confident. And hey, that's not a bad thing. But are you willing to put it to the test? California Cryobank is looking for healthy men to become sperm donors. You can earn up to $2,400 a month. Plus, get free health and genetic screenings. And more importantly, you're helping families who can't do this on their own. So if you really think you've got it, and you know who you are, put it to good use. Apply now and see if you qualify. Check out spermbank.com to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Start the day with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN. WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
Tiki was breaking down via video the fan interaction with Jalen Brunson that caused Jalen after the game to be so annoyed. What have you learned from your video investigation around Jalen Brunson?
It sounded, from the reports, and we got a couple of them, one basically saying that Jalen Brunson got into an interaction with a fan that was likely saying flopping comments or something like that.
Right.
But it seems deeper than that. Because it was multiple people who were sitting in that very front row at the scorer's table, all in those orange shirts. So they're clearly fans, probably very wealthy fans who feel entitled to say whatever you want to anybody at any time. And you could see it in the background. There's a video that I just sent to our text chat where they're kind of breaking it down. And you see some of them are smiling, but Corey Alexander, UVA great, by the way, who does analysis for the network, was sitting behind it. He was not smiling. And he was looking at this like, well, this might turn into something. And then as he started to walk away, the initial time, Scott Foster, the referee, came and intervened and said, well, you know, what's going on here? Jalen was telling him about him. This woman gets up. This woman standing behind the bench stands up. And as the game ends and Jalen Brunson takes the ball and starts to walk back over there, she's standing up again. Like, what are you going to say? And then that's when Scott Foster intervened again. So I don't know what the content was. We don't have the lip reading. Maybe we need John Boy to get on this so he can get some lip reading going on. But this is not just you flop too much, you suck. It's more than that, I think.
Well, it's got to be because Jalen Brunson does not have a reputation of getting into it with fans.
No.
Like, you probably had to say something very offensive for Jalen to go back at them. And then for Jose Alvarado to come over and say, hey, let's walk away from this. Same with Scott Foster. They were trying to defuse the situation. But those fans are going to get, I would think, if the NBA does a right investigation, that those fans may lose their tickets.
I think you're right. I mean,
and they probably should.
It's a 60-year-old white woman sitting next to, you know, another, maybe her son, I can't tell. But Jalen Brunson was not happy.
Yeah. But New York fans are the problem in the series.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's the reputation we have that I think is unfair. I think Philly falls for that too. Like, it's always assumed that the Northeast is doing bad stuff. We're the bad people. And yeah, there are some. I'm not going to say we're perfect. Like I mentioned, I remember there was a story a couple of years ago of a fan supposedly spitting on Trae Young. Obviously, that's horrible and disrespectful, but it happens all over the place. You want to know why? Because humans are ass everywhere. It's not just us. It's not just one location in the country.
Great point.
I have only sat courtside, I think, like once or twice, and they were both at net games. It was never at Madison Square Garden. But what I remember very vividly is that they give you a card if you start insulting people, and the card is like a warning. It's like a soccer card. Like, what is it, yellow card they give you?
Yeah, yellow card. And
I saw it happen once.
Really?
I saw it. There was a guy in front of me who was, I don't even know what he was saying because I couldn't even tell, but he was screaming something at a Charlotte Hornets player, and security just very quietly game over with a card. And he read the card and he chuckled and he shut up the rest of the game. Because I think the card basically told him, hey, if you make this a thing, you're not just getting thrown out. That's bad enough. We're going to ban you. And you don't want to do, I mean, you really want to be banned for life? You want to be Joe Jackson? You don't want that. So I don't know if we'll ever get more details, but Tiki investigating the Jalen Brunson situation. Now, speaking of Jalen Brunson, for a couple of years now, we've had this barbershop conversation about the King of New York. It started literally 2.5 years ago, and even last year we tried to put it to rest by having everyone at WFAN vote on who they thought was the King of New York, and it was won by Aaron Judge, and so we had to follow the rules for the entire summer. We had to refer to Aaron Judge as King Judge. But this conversation just continues to persist, including this morning when a caller called in to Boomer and Gio to bring it up. Take a listen.
I truly believe they're going to win this series, but even if they didn't win this series, he is definitely the king of New York. It's not even close at this point. What he's done for this team, what he's done in the playoffs in the 4 years he's been here, Aaron Judge finally had a moment last year against Toronto. But other than that, what has Aaron Judge, and I love Aaron Judge, and I'm a diehard Yankees fan, but what has Aaron Judge done in his career to make him the king of New York? He's not a clutch player. He never will be.
So I kind of agree with that caller, not about Aaron Judge's not clutch, he'll never will be, none of that stuff, but I think it's over. Like, I got to tell you right now, I know Sean will never tap out, but I think
he'll hang on for principle.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson's the freaking king. Like, the Knicks could lose 4 straight games, and I still think he'd be the king.
Oh,
so
no.
Are you ready to just end this thing after one game and just say, look, he's the king of New York, let's move on?
For the 17th seemingly straight day, I'm going to reiterate that if they win the finals, absolutely, I'm telling you, he's the king. Now, I even think there's more pressure and more proof. You're up 1-0 and stole the game on the road, and we're Captain Clutch, and now everybody in the world is no longer not giving you your flowers. You can't blow the series now.
Yeah.
You blow the series, you have no rights to that throne.
Here's the thing, though, Sean. I cannot see that happening.
Unless
he gets hurt. I can't. Jalen Brunson is not the type of player who you're guessing what kind of play you're going to get from him on a night-to-night basis. He might be off, but he's still going to be on. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like Jalen Brunson can be the guy who blows the series. Now, he could miss a clutch shot.
Well, and that's the thing.
But I don't think he's like a no-show at all in the postseason.
I don't think so either. But remember, the reality of where we are now, from a Knicks perspective, is the worst case is you play 500 basketball the rest of your season, there's a parade. And you are the captain and the leader of that. There has to be a ring now, or your throne is gone. That's it.
Stop. Dude.
Well, why does that not apply for Aaron Judge?
Yeah, he's already past Aaron Judge.
Because Aaron Judge has multiple MVPs, played in more conference championships in his league.
But the king is determined by what you've done for me lately.
Okay.
And so right now, Jalen Brunson is on par with what Aaron Judge has done.
I don't deny that, but he hasn't done as much in his sport as Judge has. Winning a championship supersedes all of that.
Forget in the sport. I'm talking about this season. I'm talking about this year's holding of the crown, because it can change at any time. So this moment's holding of the crown, Jalen Brunson has passed Aaron Judge, because Jalen Brunson, who has dominated this postseason, dominated Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Aaron Judge got to the World Series 2 years ago. He didn't dominate. And so Jalen Brunson is already there.
I think we found our difference. And I think this is just maybe it's a me thing, maybe it's a you thing, maybe it's a both our thing.
Go ahead.
I treat the crown with such respect that I don't expect it to be just hand over like a game of hot potato, depending on what you've done for me lately.
Do you have any understanding of British history?
I don't have understanding of U.S. history.
What kind of question is that?
You out of your mind?
Just go back in the annals of British history. They fought for the crown constantly.
Okay,
constantly.
So, would you like to hear Boomer's response?
Yes,
because this was brought up by a caller. He referred to, I've heard this talked about. And the best part about the caller was it wasn't just we've talked about it. He mentioned, I think Big Mac and Craig were talking about it. This stupid topic has infested this radio station, and we apologize. And for those that don't remember, it all started on a slow day in February in which I told you that the mayor's office was very secretly changing who the king of New York was.
I do remember
based on something that happened in a Knicks game in February, and that I had gotten that exclusive news from the mayor's office. That's the lineage of this stupid ass conversation.
It does. It actually ultimately also led, Evan. This is a tangent. It led to an AI Mayor Adams for bad Tiki.
That is true. Eventually, that led to AI Adams. You're right. I mean, you talk about how that has led to so many different things. Anyhow, Boomer Esiason. You respect Boomer, right, Sean?
Do I respect him? Yes, I respect him.
Okay, well, let's hear his opinion on what the caller said about Jalen Brunson being the clear king of New York.
King of New York, I mean, hopefully Jackson Dart will be in that conversation. Hopefully, somebody.
Cade Klubnik.
Well, maybe. You never know. But, I don't know. It's just that he resuscitated a dead franchise. The Yankees aren't a dead franchise.
He hit it right there. And that's the thing that...
Different definitions of dead franchise.
The Yankees have been above 500 for 30 years.
And Aaron Judge is a big reason for that.
The Knicks were a laughingstock, and I think that is a part of it. Look, there are two parts of this that the Yankees can't compete with, and one of it is very tough for me to admit, but screw it, I'll admit it. The other team in town represents such a small percentage of fans that the Knicks do represent a majority of New York in a way that even the Yankees can't replicate, because the Mets exist on a higher level than their competition the Knicks have in the NBA. It pains me. I'm one of the 2%, but I acknowledge that. And number two, as Boomer eloquently said, the Knicks were LOL. They were dead. And no one thought this was going to be the hero. Tommy Lugauer famously tweeted, same old Knicks if they had signed Jalen Brunson. He's good. He's not great. And so I think that level is what brings Jalen Brunson to this kingdom area. But look, here's the funny part about this stupid argument. The argument may be over definitively in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Because if the Knicks win an NBA championship led by Jalen Brunson, you may not agree with the P part of things when I say permanent, but he's the king. Yeah. I mean, anyone who argues it is either a hater or an idiot.
No, he
right?
He walks on water with Messier, with Jeter, with Eli as like the leaders of those teams. Like he walks on water forever here, no doubt.
I'd argue he's above that, but you know what? We'll save that for August.
Bottom line is this, though, Evan. Can we be done with this conversation? I don't even know if Aaron Judge has a spleen right now while Jalen Brunson's leading the finals. Can we stop?
The only reason I brought it up is because it continues to go through every show at this station. And I was commenting on the comment about the comment, okay?
The last thing I want to talk about with Aaron Judge right now is a crown. I just want to make sure he can operate.
Can he just play?
That is true. That is a fear right now about Aaron Judge. What do you think's going to end up happening? Are you like expecting horrific news like he's out for the season or something?
I don't think out for the season news, but I do expect an IL stint that's going to make us question when he's going to play again. Like we're going to have to redo our guess.
I think that Kohler shook me to the core yesterday with the thoracic outlet now, and now I'm totally like, we're not seeing him till April at a minimum.
Crazy. Well, we'll keep you posted. Yankees are playing this afternoon at the stadium against the Guardians. That game will be on the AM side if you want to check that out. Right now, the pregame show is going on the AM side. 888-808-1019. Let's go to Ken in Babylon. What's up, Ken?
How's it going, guys? Well, first off, on your last comment with the fan interacting with Brunson at the end of the game, that's probably the best thing that could have happened to them. I mean, now he's already got a chip on his shoulder. You know, they got another road game to play. Like,
good point.
Put him in that mindset, and you know that's the way he finishes the game after 13 points in the quarter. Like, to me, they did him a favor. The second point is just to Sean's comment. If Brunson wins a championship, which after last night became more of a reality, I would put him as the king of New York for the last 50 years. And that's in with LT, Jeter, Messier, you name it. And it's for the reasons you said, you know, one team town, basketball is probably the biggest sport in New York, maybe close to baseball. And the drought of 50 years that probably, you know, predates most of our lifetimes. So he's going to be not only in his own tier, but beyond legends that have won multiple championships like LT, Jeter, et cetera. Like, he will have separated himself from every athlete that has played in this city for the last 50 years.
Ken, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm a nice guy. I think I'm being very, very fair. And the way I phrased it was very different than the way you phrased it. You phrased it like you're being mean. You phrased it as it's a one-team town. I didn't say it that way. I said there's another team that just takes up so little of this town. Why do you have to deny the existence of a team? Just say they're very tiny. They're very small. They're a pebble on the side of the road. If you say that,
I'm a Mets fan. I'm an Islanders fan, but it pales in comparison to being a Nets fan.
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying acknowledge me. I'm saying just say they're very tiny. Like, there's a difference. Some people do it, some people don't. I'll give you a great example around here. I'll use two people that I like, Greg Giannotti and Craig Carton. They both say the exact same thing in very different ways. Greg says the Knicks are far and away the most popular team in this town. There is another team. They just don't have nearly as many fans. Well said. No ill will, no problem. And then Buddy in the Afternoon says, you know, there's no other team in this town. Like, we could all agree with the same premise, which is the Knicks take up a bigger portion of this town than any other split. I agree. I'd be the first one to tell you that. But you can do it with just a tiny level of respect. And Ken decided to not go that route. So, okay. I just wanted to acknowledge that. Everything else he said, I agree with, by the way. It was just, just acknowledge us. Like, you're tiny and you're small and you barely exist. Yeah, but I appreciate that. Just say that. Just don't say, like, there is no other team. Come on, man. Let's go to Corey in Massapequa Park. What's up, Corey?
Tiki, I'm Sean. What's going on, boys?
All's good.
What's up?
Hey, just, a lot of talk about last night, deservingly so. Not really so much the X's and O's stuff. I think to me what's standing out, listen, any job, any profession, I think everyone respects, cool and calm and present. And I think there's no doubt that the Knicks and the King of New York, Brunson, exemplify that. But I think what makes them, really dangerous, and I think what separates them, is they have the perfect balance of, a little pissed off. And they have this little attitude, and you can see it. So they're cool and they're calm, and they don't have the highs and the lows, but you see it with Bridges. Even Towns is, starting to have some of that. Obviously, Alvarado coming off the bench. I think down the list, OG has his quietness about him. Obviously, Hart. So for me, and the championship that I've seen in my lifetime that I followed from the beginning to the end with the Giants, you had that with those guys. You had the cool and the calm, and you had the pissed off. And I really think you need to have all that combined, and I feel like they have the perfect dosage of it to wrap this up very soon.
Well, it feels like that. It feels like they can push whatever button they need to push whenever they need to push it and win. That's the making of a champion. That's what you see from the best teams every year. We find ways to win no matter what state we happen to be in. Whether we're playing great or we're playing terrible, we find a way to win.
And I like what he said about the different kinds of personalities that they have on this roster, because they truly do.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby is so stoic and so quiet and so doesn't give you much. Josh Hart is flamboyant. He's crazy on the court, but he'll say whatever the heck is on his mind. They've got a lot of different kind of ways and different personalities in that room. And right now, obviously based on the results, it seems like it works. It seems like it's perfect. When this roster was fully put together, it took a long time. And there was certainly a lot of talk around here that while there's a lot of talent, it doesn't fit. Clearly it fits.
Yeah.
And sometimes in basketball, it just takes a time. It just takes a long time. And right now, as we're sitting here in the midst of the NBA Finals and the Knicks on this historic winning streak that they're on, it absolutely feels like it fits. There is history that should scare you. I'll tell you what it is about the Knicks moving forward, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019. Evan and Tiki, we're taking until 2 o'clock. The Carton Show and Big Mac will come up. Yankee baseball on the AM side. WFAN and Corona are throwing a watch party tomorrow night as New York takes on San Antonio for Game 2 of the Finals. Join former player Charles Smith along with WFAN's very own Positive Tommy at Blue Haven West on Houston Street in New York City. Corona will be flowing all game long with specials and swag for fans. Just like the team is on the hardwood, Corona is always smooth, always refreshing, and goes perfectly watching a game. It's Game 2 tomorrow night at Blue Haven West on Houston Street. Enjoy Corona buckets and watch New York drop buckets with Corona and WFAN. Please drink responsibly.
The Travelers Championship. This is where greatness locks in, where the win hits harder. For a perfect 4 days in June, see returning champion Keegan Bradley and more of the world's best like Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose, and Cameron Young at nearby TPC River Highlands, June 24th through the 28th. For tickets and information, go to TravelersChampionship.com. The Travelers Championship. Now is the time. This is the place.
And this portion of the program is brought to you by Bet365.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem?
Are burning down again. Another night, another song. Somebody check the office door. How does David Stern still have a job? How does David Stern still have a job? No, really, how does he still have a job? The Mets are a dumpster fire. The boy genius looks like a fraud. Cohen spent the money. Queens got stuck with the sobs. Somebody asked Harvard, how does David Stern still have a job? Here comes the man from Milwaukee with a spreadsheet and a grin. Said he'd bring smart baseball to Queens, then let the losing begin. Evan Roberts on Rico Bronya is cooking him every night, reading off the receipts like scripture, and buddy, none of it sounds right. They called him the boy genius, they called him Milwaukee's son, but all he did was spend a fortune and turn the Mets into a rerun. How does David Stern still have a job? No, really, how does he still have a job? Oh, Bichette, Polanco, Devin too, Weaver, Mania, Montezurra, big names, bad baseball, same old Mets fan sob. Somebody call Milwaukee. How does David Stern still have a job? How does David Stern still have a job? No, really, how does he still have a job? Bichette, Polanco, Devin too, Weaver, Mania, Montezurra.
The board is blinking, there's sauce on channel 3. Sean's got crumbs in the faders and ranch where the level should be. He's chewing through the traffic update, spilling lunch on every knob. Somebody grab a paper towel. How does Sean Morash still have a job? How does Sean Morash still have a job? No, really, how does Sean still have a job? A terrible bullboard op, a giant shill, a Knicks troll sent by God. He's got meatball grease on the soundboard and blue cheese in the ox. Somebody call engineering. How does Sean Morash still have a job? He'll defend the Giants like a preacher, even when they're getting robbed. Jackson Dart could spike one backward. Sean would say that's a pro-style lob. Then the Knicks lose one possession, and he's dancing like a slob. With buffalo sauce on the dump button, how does Sean Morash still have a job? Evans yelling, Tiki sighing, the callers want his head. The board smells like mozzarella sticks and half the buttons are dead. How does Sean Morash still have a job? No, really, how does Sean still have a job? A board-up disaster with a hoagie in hand, turning double leaf fan into a deli stand. He's trolling the Knicks, praising the Giants, leaving crumbs like it's his job. Somebody wipe down the studio. How does Sean Morash still have a job?
Period. See you at John Stark Field in Queens. Go New York, go New York, go.
36-month lease excludes tax, title, and MV fees. No security deposit required. 10,000 miles per year. Expires July 6th.
Living with a chronic illness that requires IV medication? Say hello to state-of-the-art private suites for all of your infusion needs at Thrivewell Infusion, providing exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit ThrivewellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
Game 1 saw the Knicks continue their postseason dream run, but there is more work to be done. Tomorrow's Game 2 brings an opportunity to take a commanding series lead back home to Broadway. But will young Wemby have something to say about that? The latest breaking Knicks news, the biggest Knicks opinions, and the most trusted voices delivering them all live here. Your home for New York sports is 101.9 FM, WFAN.
And this Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. Tonight down in Raleigh, North Carolina, you get Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Vegas looks to go up 2-0 on the road, with Game 3 coming back home to Vegas on Saturday. No local baseball tonight, thank goodness. We don't have to watch the Mets. And the Yankees and Guardians are just underway here on the AM dial, or about to be on the AM dial 660 here on The Fan.
Tiki, you like history, right? History is kind of interesting.
I do, indeed.
I'm going to give you some history. We obviously can draw whatever conclusion we want. Just going to give you the facts, and we could all decide whether you're in your car or you're waiting to hear Tiki's response. I just want to share this with you. The last 3 times in the NBA Finals that the road team won Game 1, like the Knicks did last night, was last year with the Indiana Pacers. They ended up losing the series in 7. 2022 with the Boston Celtics. They lost that series in 6. And 2013 with the San Antonio Spurs. They lost that series in 7.
Yeah, what does that even mean, though? It's 3 times in like how many years?
Okay, I'm just giving you the facts.
It's just too small of a sample size to be empirically important.
Fair enough. Now I'm going to give you New York Knicks history. This is their 8th time in the NBA Finals, which kind of sounds crazy, but what people forget about is that they made it in 3 straight years in the 50s, in 51, 52, and 53. They lost all 3. They were almost the Buffalo Bills of the NBA back then. And then obviously they won it in 70. They lost in 72. They won in 73. And most people remember 94, 99. There are 2 other examples, Tiki Barber, in which the New York Knicks won Game 1 on the road in the NBA Finals.
Over their 8 trips to the NBA Finals.
Over their 8 trips. In fact,
a lot of which were before most people who are listening were born.
Yeah, some of them were. Right. Sure. 7 of the 8 trips started on the road, believe it or not. The only NBA Finals that opened at home was 1970. It's the only one. Which, by the way, pet peeve of mine, Boomer continuously calls them the 69 Knicks. They're the 70 Knicks. I know they played in 69, but don't we refer to it as the year?
Yeah, the year that... it's weird because in the NFL you don't.
Well, the NFL's different. The NFL,
it's the 07 season, even though the the 07 season or the Super Bowl was in 08.
Completely agree with you.
But it's only a month. It's only a month until 08. That's why.
But isn't it accepted that it's like this is the 2026 New York Knicks?
Yes. Because the majority of the season is played in 2026.
See,
Boomer, I love you. It drives me nuts. Anyhow, go ahead, Sean.
No, I was going to say, in basketball and hockey, it's always referred to as the 2 years combined, the 25, 2026 Knicks.
Yeah, but if you refer to it as only one, it has to be the following year. And if you're going to pick a year, you got to be consistent. You can't say the 69 Knicks and the 73 Knicks, because then you're picking the beginning year for one and the second year for another.
Okay, so think about the time you start caring about the sport.
A springtime. I guess. Okay, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
Who cares about December basketball?
You're right.
Honestly.
Besides me. Yeah, besides me and CP the franchise.
Yes.
Anyhow, whatever. Love you, Boomer. Just weird pet peeve. So they've only opened up at home once, and that was in 1970. In the 7 other trips, they opened up on the road, and they lost 5 of them. 1951, they lost Game 1. They ended up going down 3-0, ended up losing the series in 7. One of the rare teams that sort of came back from 3-0 down. They lost Game 1 in 52 on the road, lost the series that year. In 1973, they actually lost Game 1 and then won the next 4, believe it or not, and won an NBA championship. And in 94-99, the ones that we remember, they lost Game 1. The 2 other examples where they won Game 1 on the road, 1953, in which they then lost the next 4 games, and 1972, in which they lost the next 4 games. So Knicks history has not been kind to winning Game 1 of the NBA Finals on the road. Do you make anything out of these facts that I just gave you?
I just can't. History is interesting to learn about and dissect and analyze and have an opinion about, or have information on. It is not an indicator of what's going to happen in the unknowable future. That's for sure.
I agree with you. I just think it is interesting, and I love presenting the facts. And if you want to use that piece of information to annoy your friend later today, you have every right to, or you don't. Whatever. I did the research. I thought it was interesting. So what does it mean about this team? Of course it means nothing about this team. Jalen Brunson in 1951, there's no connection. Jalen Brunson in 1972, there's no connection. It's just, this is Knicks history. I was more surprised by the fact that they've only hosted Game 1 of the NBA Finals once, and they've been there 8 times. I found that to be kind of surprising.
Well,
but
the rules weren't different, right? It was always the best
no,
team.
I think it was best record based on that every single year, every single time. I'd have to go back to the Rochester Royal Knicks series, but that's the forgotten one. I'm sure there's some old people that really remember that, though I don't even know if it was on TV. But the Knicks made 3 straight NBA Finals in 51, 52, and 53. You're talking about the real early days of NBA history. But neither here nor there. Here the Knicks are up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. Game 2 is on Friday, and then there are 2 off days for travel, Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday night is going to be the mega event of the year at Madison Square Garden, in which I can confirm to you Mayor Mamdani will be there, President Donald Trump will be there, and so will I. Just not sure if I'll be sitting with them or not. Actually, I know they won't.
You definitely will not.
Unless they
I'm more interested on how long it takes you to get into the arena.
What do you mean by that? You think it's going to take longer because of security?
Yeah, of course.
What?
Doesn't it necessarily have to be longer? I was at an Alabama game. I was calling an Alabama game, and President Trump came to that game. It took us forever, and we get there hours before the game because we're on the broadcast crew. It took forever to get to that game. It usually takes 8 minutes. It took us like 40.
Ugh.
So I hope that it's not an issue for you. But I'm curious to know if it is an issue for you.
Oh, great. I'll give you that update, too. That's the beauty of being in there. I'll give you firsthand, results of security lines.
Yes.
How long it takes. If Mamdani or Trump decides to go on the Chase Bridge with me because, hey, you know what? I'll hang out with them. I'll break down the world with Mayor Mamdani and President Trump while watching Knicks Spurs Game 3. Anyhow, let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019 is the number. Renato is in Utica, New York. What's up, Renato?
Hey, Evan, Tiki, Sean, love you guys. 2 quick questions. Number 1, do you think that the Knicks PA responds to the Spurs PA with the music and them trolling them? The only reason I ask is you and Sean are 2 of the biggest trolls on the station. I was wondering how you would respond if they respond. And then the follow-up question is, this Knicks team kind of gives me the vibe of the first Jordan championship when Jordan faced the Lakers. The Lakers blew through the West, won Game 1 in the finals, and then Jordan won 4 in a row. I feel like history is going to repeat itself. I'm hanging up to hear your reply. Keep rocking it. You guys do so much good work. Thank you.
The only problem with your comparison is that you're going to lose people over using the name Jordan and the Bulls because we know they went on to win 3 straight championships and then 6 out of 8. But I like what you're thinking because the Jordan Bulls also had to lose before they won.
Right.
Which is a staple of NBA history, which has been one of my biggest arguments against the Spurs prior to this and against the Pistons, which turned out to be right. So I do think that the Knicks have dealt with kind of that level that the Bulls went through of losing and losing and losing and then finally breaking through. And then even the Lakers-Spur comparison, I don't think that one works as well because of how young and inexperienced San Antonio is. And kind of like almost the opposite of me bringing up all these historical references to winning Game 1 on the road. It just doesn't matter. I think as fans, we like to find things that feel familiar and feel similar. But the truth is, Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks, Tiki, are writing their very own history that you probably can't compare.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter necessarily that they're on the road or at home. I mean, obviously they play well. Historically, everybody does at home. But the Knicks have been dominant on the road. I think all of their road victories over the last 2 series, and now in this one, have been double digits. Now this one just barely is double digits, but it's not double digits nonetheless. They're not affected by being away from home, and so you can do whatever you want. You can play the clown music. It's a mature team is the best way to put it, where they don't let petty nonsense get in their way, except for Jalen Brunson getting mad at some woman on the front row in the scorer's table.
Since the Knicks lost their last game on April 23rd, Game 3, they lost by 1 point. every victory has been by double digits except for Game 2 against the Sixers where they won by 6. So when you say they've won a lot on the road by a lot, they have.
Yes.
Because every game has been by double digits. TJ's calling from Brooklyn. Hey, TJ.
Hello, how you guys doing?
We're good. What's up?
Yeah, I want to talk about the Knicks. Yesterday was a phenomenal game. You know, it was great how to see, you know, Josh Hart. I can't believe that he out-rebounded Wemby. You know, Wemby only had 12 rebounds. Josh Hart had 15. You know, he didn't have a great game shooting-wise, but, you know, these guys are going to – I think the Knicks are just going to go and – I think we're going to sweep them. But what do you guys think? You guys think that the Spurs are going to come back and try to, you know, do something, or you guys think that the Knicks are
Well, they're good. They're going to try to do something.
They don't. They're not quitting.
Will.
This is not the Cleveland Cavaliers who kind of felt the writing on the wall and were like, all right, we're good, man. We'll try again next year. Hey, James Harden, you want to sign for another 18 seasons for $1 billion? So this Spurs team is young, and yeah, they might not know what they don't know, and their inexperience and lack of being able to go an entire 4 quarters might rear its head. But this team's not laying down. They're going to fight. You know that, and they have one of the best players in the NBA.
Josh Hart is one of the best rebounding 6'5" players you'll ever see.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it. For many years, and I'm going to put Russell Westbrook to the side, and this is going to sound like such a jerk comment, but I don't know. I felt like a lot of that was stat padding, and I also didn't watch him every game. I watched Jason Kidd every game, and I thought he was one of the greatest rebounding guards I've ever seen. He's one of the reasons why he's a Hall of Famer. Josh Hart is obviously not Russell Westbrook. He's not Jason Kidd. I get that. He is a 6'5", 2-guard, small forward. I don't even know what position this guy plays. And I guess that's the beauty of him. He doesn't have a position.
Yeah.
But as a rebounder, for someone who is listed at 6'5", he really is incredible. And I think you saw that last night, and it was a reminder that even if Josh isn't doing things offensively, like leading the one-man fast break that he's so good at, or hitting threes, which he hit at a 40% clip this season, he can impact a game in other ways. And last night he did it on the glass.
Well, he did.
He's kind of done it all year.
Well, he did it because he's taking advantage of the fault in Mitch Johnson's plan, where he has Wemby out around the perimeter often. Like he's picking up the pick and rolls. You know what I mean? He's trying to guard Jalen Brunson or Josh Hart or whoever it is out at the perimeter. And when you do that, you just leave too much access for a guy, an aggressive player like Josh Hart, to go get offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds on the other end as well. So I feel like so much of this is game planning, and this is where I keep giving credit to Mike Brown. He had a better plan for Game 1.
Charles Barkley was 6'6" or 6'7", because I don't think he was 6'5" or shorter. But he was smaller than we kind of remember.
I want to say he's 6'6".
You're going to let that sit there, T?
Yeah, I am. I'm tired of it.
You're going to let what sit there?
6'7".
Oh, we're still doing this?
That was the literal interpretation of the 6'7" thing.
Yeah, it was about a basketball player's height.
Yeah, is he 6'6" or is he 6'7"?
Charles Barkley is listed at 6'6" on Basketball Reference.
Yes.
The round of rebound.
Mound of rebound.
But I don't think of him that way. Like when I'm thinking of like the guards who rebound at a high level that are short in real world standards or in NBA standards, Charles Barkley's not one of them. So you're more thinking about Oscar Robertson, who's before my time. Mm-hmm. So I got the numbers. We all do, but I didn't see him. You're thinking of Russell Westbrook. I thought of Jason Kidd with the triple doubles. But Josh Hart, while he's obviously not a player like that, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's an incredible rebounder for his size.
Yeah. No, it's uncanny. He's just it's leverage. It's understanding where the ball is going to go to. Yeah. So he's smart in a way that's basketball IQ smart.
Nick is in the Bronx. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how's it going? I got a couple quick things, and the last thing I want to get in is that bitch comment about Tiki. He's going to love something that I'm going to tell him. Nice. But the reason that the Garden has not put any tickets on sale, and I doubt that they're going to, because I have season ticket Rangers, and I've been to 2 finals, they build that NBA desk is going to be inside in one of the sections, probably up in the 300s, and then the NBA takes tickets, and the visiting team gets more.
That's
so the little bit of allotment they do have, they pre-sale for Chase first. It was very, very little, so I doubt there's going to be any more. The second thing, before I give Tiki his bitch comment, is when Loogie left, Sean, I'm almost positive, you're going to have Dan double-check this, but Sean said that he would work his shift because you were saying you were debating if you were going to take Loogie to a game, and Sean, I'm almost positive, said he will work his shift if you take him. And I know you want to make money, but it's about time you throw a little bit back. You only can make more. And the last thing is, I went to Philly, and the VPN is not going to work. So how I got into Philly is I have relatives that live in Pennsylvania. My cousin let me log her into her Ticketmaster, and it was on my phone. But Tiki, when we got in there, guess the chant that we started.
What's that?
Not only bitch, we were calling him a whiny bitch. And the Philly fans loved it. There was only one Philly fan that really liked him, and everybody else, they can't stand the guy.
That's
why I did that chant for you, Tiki, a whiny bitch.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you. That's why I didn't really get pushback other than from Hugh Douglas, who had to because he's on air, because they all agree with me.
They do agree. They do agree. That was my biggest takeaway analyzing WIP after Tiki made those comments, that they were like, yeah, you got it right. we agree with you. We agree with you. I think that I said that if the Knicks win a title, Tommy would host this show and I would host his show for one night at the parade.
Is that right?
I don't know if the bosses are going to approve that. Like, I'm good with it, but I can't make those programming decisions. So I don't know, Sean, can you ask the bosses?
Were you involved in this, Sean?
So what he's saying is correct. What I did say.
You said that too, though, about me taking him to a game, but I got good news for you. I'm not taking him to a game.
Which also half the reason I said it.
You knew.
There's no way that you, first of all, forget you. There's no way your wife was going to let you not make money on this and take freaking slap you-know-what loogie to the NBA Finals.
Well, and also, Tommy would have to miss part of the game because of the show he does.
Well, that was why.
I think that was why Sean was included.
For you to go to an NBA Finals game, Tommy, I wouldn't let you worry about the show. You could come and do the show right from the Garden, and I'd be here.
But you run into the same problem I have. Like, I offered, and I swear to God, and we'll find the tape, obviously, of it, that if the Knicks won a title, I would do after hours and Tommy would do the parade. And I am willing to do it. I'm a man of my word. I don't know if the bosses are going to allow me, and it same goes with you, that I don't know if they would allow Tommy, who is one of the voices of Knick fans on this station, to not be on during a Knick final game so he can just go to the game with Uncle Evan.
That's a great point.
Yeah, well, then the good news is, Evan, you and I don't have to worry about this. It's up to the bosses, and we're the good guys because we offer.
I agree, and I'll lay it out. I'll explain it to the bosses. Like, it's your decision. I'm not going to get involved here.
Yeah. I'm not trying to.
Tommy.
We're not trying to renege on it. Just make a decision for us.
I kind of think, and I guess I'm putting myself down in this regard. While I am a professional, I think most people would prefer to hear Tommy at the parade than me.
Absolutely, because they would get their roses all day. There would be no subtle or otherwise trolling.
Do you think, though, honestly, if we're at the parade, and I've done 3 of them, so I have a track record at these parades, do you think I would troll?
No, but
how do you think I'd handle it?
I think you would say something like, "It's a good thing they won it because they would not have won it any other year. This is the only chance that they had, and they took advantage of it. And kudos to Jalen Brunson and Cat and Mike Brown. They were awesome this year. They had to get it done this year because it wasn't happening any other year." That's exactly what you would say.
That would not happen.
Of course, it absolutely would happen.
1,000% you're wrong. The only thing that would happen, and I can't argue with this because it's just how you feel, is because people know how I feel, that it would feel fake. It would be like, oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy at the parade.
Yeah, false
analyzing
enthusiasm.
Things.
False enthusiasm.
Correct. And I totally respect that. Like, I am who I am. We all are who we are. I mean, it just is what it is. But that's up to the bosses. So I'll run that up the flagpole because I know Tommy's definitely willing to host the parade.
Well, I mean, the reality is the diehard is not on the show.
That's right. That's right. That's
not.
Right. Sorry about that. Too bad.
But we'll be here when the Giants win a Super Bowl, Teak. We'll be here.
You have no idea.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll probably be the false enthusiasm guy with you, but at least you'll be here as Mr. Giant.
Yes.
Did you hear John Harbaugh say, "Let's go Knicks" at his press conference yesterday?
Did.
I did. Doesn't bother me.
You know what was funny? Because obviously early in this game they were losing and playing poorly. The Knicks, I was like, people are going to start blaming John Harbaugh.
You think
They're
so?
going to say, "Get off our bandwagon. We don't need you."
You know what I was thinking last night? I have a big conspiracy theory around the Giants, and it involves the Knicks. It's Knicks related, Knicks adjacent, if you will. So last night it came out that Pete Davidson, Odell Beckham Jr., Jackson Dart, and Brian Burns went on a private plane and went to game 1 of the NBA Finals to root the Knicks on. And there's even video of everybody all excited.
Yeah, they were in a suite.
So my theory is that Odell Beckham Jr. is a genius. He knows that if he gets close to QB1, becomes BFFs with QB1, how could John Harbaugh cut him? He couldn't. Where was Juju? I didn't see him on that plane. Where was the other guy you signed?
Well,
I didn't see him on the plane. Braxton Berrios.
I think Odell and Jackson already have a relationship.
But it's being furthered. And I think that was done meticulously to get into bed with Jackson Dart, maybe and his girlfriend too, and ensure that when John Harbaugh has to make big decisions on the roster, you know what Jackson Dart says. He'll say,
Odell should worry about one thing. Just be a baller.
That's
if
it.
he's a baller, we're going to love him again.
Also, Evan's bearing the lead that it was Brian Burns who orchestrated this and invited both Odell and Jackson Dart. So.
Don't let facts get in the way of a great theory.
Also, for everybody that wanted to say, where's your take on Zach Wilson apple picking? John Harbaugh has decided not to have practice today with these guys coming back. Instead, the entire Giants team is going to visit the 9/11 Museum and Memorial. So
Very
they're not
good.
even being...
That was in the works for a while, by the way.
Exactly the point. So they didn't go last night, they're going to be late for practice back. That's what people tried to say yesterday.
All right. Good for you. I'm just saying Odell Beckham Jr. is trying to get comfy with his quarterback.
And you know,
I think it's a smart move.
I never defend the Giants.
It's also OTAs.
That's right.
We're
At the end of the day,
we're not talking
it doesn't
about
matter.
practice. You're talking about practice?
Right. If Aaron
Not
Rodgers
really.
could ride a camel, then those guys could go to the Spurs.
Well, you guys made a big deal of it. I tried to downplay Aaron Rodgers riding a camel. You made a big deal of it, so don't turn that on me.
Well, it's because we were still questioning whether Aaron Rodgers actually gave a you-know-what.
Yeah, well, I think he gave a you-know-what. I just don't think he was good as a Jet. And then, obviously, the Jets screwed it up. But that's a story for another day. Let's go to Matt in Bricktown. Uh-oh. Matt's in Bricktown. Matt, you're on the fan. What's up?
What's up, big dog? Hey, when are you going to stop hating on the Knicks? We got the best bench. You talk nothing but crap about them. And last night we're down 12-13. We come back. When are you going to stop talking about them?
Who
you guys stop talking bad about them?
Who talked
you, Evan?
When? You go back. Everything you do is you resort yourself back to the Nets. You got the Knicks D-League basketball.
When did I talk bad about the Knicks? When did I talk bad about the Knicks?
Monday. You said they're not going to win.
So that's your, I want to make it clear, Matt, that your example, Matt, hold on.
Down to earth game was to lose today, right? Last night was to lose.
Well, hold on. One at a time here. What you're saying is me talk. Okay, cool. I'm trying to have a conversation, bro. You're saying me talking bad about the Knicks was being honest the other day that I can't see them winning a championship because much like the Mets and the Jets, I just can't see it. That's your definition of me talking bad about the Knicks?
Right, but yes. I mean,
what? Okay, so there's no other example. Like when I'm breaking down Brunson or the offense, there's no other example of me talking bad about the Knicks, correct?
What I'm saying is we're on such a high and everyone's going for it, and then you're like, nope, they're never going to win it. They're not going to go. They're not going to win.
Okay,
but Matt, just to defend Evan, that's just misguided emotion. Yeah. That's because he's a miserable Net fan, a miserable Jet fan, and a somewhat miserable Met fan, even though they won last night.
You know why I don't like taking this crap from him and even your comment? Because I'll say it again, and I don't like to do it because I'm not this kind of person. I've been more right about the Knicks than anybody here in a positive way. And so I've called it like I've seen it. I've been right 99% of the time, and all I offered was
So then how did you possibly pick the Spurs in 7?
Because I told you, I'll say it again, I'm mad at you. Now I'm mad at Tiki.
Yeah.
Because I said irrationally as a fan of teams.
No, hold on, Evan. Now you're changing history.
No, I'm not.
You said you can't see the Knicks winning.
Correct.
You can't see
not because of basketball reasons, which I laid out.
That's right. Now, if you talk basketball reasons, which we did,
yes.
How do you pick the Spurs in 7?
Because it goes back to the first thing I said.
But
that I'm a child who has a tough time
Sean?
imagining
you hear what he's saying, Sean?
happening.
He's telling you that he can't actually be an IBO.
He can't.
He just invalidated his IBO-ness. Because if you let your emotions from the first segment we had creep into the whatever segment we did our predictions, then you're not IBOing it.
But that's
you're emotioning it.
But that's not what happened. So
that is
what
happened.
Not at all. So
then how do you explain Spurs in 7? Because you can't look at the analytics of what's happened in either of these series, the Spurs multiple series and the Knicks multiple series, and say the Spurs have a better chance. Unless you're going to buy into the nonsense that the Knicks had an easier route because they are in the East.
But when
I know you don't believe that because we've talked about it multiple times.
Oh, he's got you in the corner,
so,
Ev.
I mean,
no one's letting me answer, so I can't respond.
Unless you're okey doking and like you're going to tell me something that haven't heard from you, you're BSing us right now.
No, another body blow.
So we make predictions. Unless I was excusing myself from making predictions, what did you want me to say? Whenever we've talked about this team, I've been fair and honest and probably more accurate than anybody else here. That can't be denied. So then what do you want me to do when we're making predictions on a series and I'm just being honest, I'm being raw to everybody when I say, hey, kind of like the Mets and the Jets, and I've done it before, I cannot get to that finish line and pick them to win a championship. Why is that such a problem?
Because there's a difference. You could say that that's how you feel, but then don't say that that's an independent basketball observation.
Yeah, I agree.
That's an emotional New York loser fan observation. They're two different things.
I've acknowledged that.
That's right.
Say that 99% of...
So you're agreeing with us then?
No, I'm disagreeing with the callers. Like, all you do is hate on the Knicks. That's not true.
No, forget the caller.
And he had no evidence about that.
I'm talking about you saying that you're IBOing.
It's a prediction. That's it. That's all it was.
You
It's
should have
5
had
seconds.
2 predictions. You should have had your IBO, what the stats and analytics tell you. That's being an IBO, and then you should have had this is how I feel as a New York loser.
Okay,
prediction.
you're a hypocrite because if I sat here on Sports Talk Radio and said, I need to make 2 predictions, you would have killed me as sitting on the fence.
I had 2 predictions.
But we didn't listen to the second one.
The Knicks in 6. If they win game 1, they're sweeping.
So now your prediction is Knicks are sweeping?
Yes. But, my prediction is Knicks in 6. But listen, if they win game 1, they're sweeping.
If you've missed any of this show, there's a cool feature. It's called the free Odyssey app, and you could rewind it. There's never been any part of this show that's been hating. It's been real. The Knicks deserve a lot of credit. They're on an unprecedented run. They took care of business last night. We went through every aspect on how they did it, and they're 3 wins away from an NBA championship. If you heard hate, then you're a hater. Now, here's the good news. You have nothing to worry about because the rest of this station is going to be fanboys. So it'll all be good. It'll all be happy. Everything's great. They're never going to lose another game. And so don't worry. You don't have to worry about me for 20 hours. Then you'll have to deal with me Friday at 10 a.m. Unless they fire me. And then you're good. Either way, Carton Show's coming up next. Until he finds out he's not the replacement.
Oh, no.
Carton Show's coming up next with Craig and Big Mac. Keep it right here. Yankees on the AM side tomorrow, 10 a.m. We are here. Goodbye.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
What a way to start the NBA Finals. Jalen Brunson exploded for 30 points as the New York Knicks stole Game 1 on the road, defeating the San Antonio Spurs 105-95. Despite 26 points and 12 rebounds from Victor Wembanyama, New York closed the game on a clutch 11-0 run to take a 1-0 series.